Imagine XMS, I think he took down the CT to 18 HP, dinking him with the ZZ. Imagining him having an AK, this could have been a nice entry kill, but I'm still not quite sure why XMS didn't buy an AK. And in this round it's only pistols, already losing one player. And I think the double O setup is once more, it's very hard to counter. I mean, you need a lot of utility to not fall one by one into those AWPs. You need a lot of smokes, flashes, molotovs. There we go, Schlag finding the first, in the second, it's way too easy. And there is the third. And only Mata, only one left, and look at Schlags. He knows where the last player is. He's just waiting for Mata to come his way. And there we go.
Ace. Beautiful shooting from Slacks right there. The AWP adds clinical. It was an anti-eco round, but regardless, that's just so difficult to hit shots like he did during the course of that whole longside defensive. Putting all in attacks on 10 digits, 10 rounds, excuse me, double digits, within one of LDLC now. And AWP's and double op setup once again coming into fruition. Of course, they build a lot of economy, so their money line's looking fantastic at the moment for the CT side. Is the LDLC, they're on the verge of getting shut down of their own. Look at the money line for them. $900 at best on XMS. Everything else is just not looking great. This could be a reset round for Alternate Attacks. They're trying to go for some aggressive banana control, but the flashbang counters from LDLC will keep Dude from finding that opening frag. They get some damage onto 3 and 4 players. Reface from the AWP really going to be important right here. Flicks on Logan, backs right off. Reface back on XMS. Could find himself a collateral, but missed the flick too far the left-hand side. And now Cressy is left alone here to defend it, getting himself back behind second. His backup is called. He's going to play passive. Try down a bomb punt if he can. XMS spotted. Spray, take it down. Looks back in for Matt End, but he can't take him in. Out 2 versus 3 now. Alternate Attacks in retake mode. I imagine they might even consider the save as well. Slacks with no vision, no positioning. And again, a mad disadvantage on B-site retake. It's a very, very difficult affair.
Yeah, but now with Mata just maybe over-aggressing. I mean, maybe he didn't know there's this gap, but if he knew, it's way too risky to take the peak against the AWP when you know Schlags is still alive. There's the pop flash, also the second flash coming in, and Schlags, he goes for a smoke, and Devoduek, the spray is just perfect, and he gets both the 12 front for alternate. And I mean, if I'm correct, just in the beginning, when you saw the banana take from alternate, it felt like Man2 when he tried, or I think, who was the first one? I think Dude, when he went aggressive, got flashed by his teammate, because there was the second flash coming in, who caught Logan just around the corner, was completely blind, but also was Dude. And then Dude somehow didn't realize there was one on his left, and it was all over the place. So I'm not quite sure if this was a mistake from Alternate, some communication issue, so maybe also the flash not hitting perfectly.
Relentless coordination overall from Alternate Attacks is really what allowed it to go forward, and some good challenges from LDLC. And that AWP possibly could have just destroyed everybody out towards the banana position if they had placed it right. Unfortunately, Slacks just couldn't quite get the job done this time. Still bring out the mid position, however, it's Man2 playing over on B. And look at Slacks already at the edge of the smoke. Oh, pushes back forward and blinds himself off just at the right timing, allows LDLC to cross from stairs up to top mid. Unfortunate timing on those positionings, so Alternate can just wait and get ready. 3 players making their way in the apartments. Again, it's going to be LDLC with a slow default, trying to hope to catch off an opening frag. Cressy actually in a decent position to avoid the apartments altogether. If Stefan just holds down this angle, this could look really good.
And the timing will be key. Now I heard one player just rotate. That's around the corner. Pop flash comes in perfectly, but Cressy, oh, there's a big whiff, and this could have been around, but somehow, I mean, Cressy was dead. 11 HP, and he finds 3 more kills. I think maybe the 4th, but then it's Schlags finding 2 more. And I don't know who the first one from LLC was to leave the balcony, but this was the round. I mean, Cressy was totally caught off guard.
How did he get those kills? How the hell did he get those kills? That is absolutely ridiculous. Well, that's a reset, a hard reset against LDLC. AK for Toinu. I mean, Alternate Attacks ain't complaining. 5 players alive to rebuild their own economy state, and LDLC have got nothing to work with. TAC 9s, CZs, again, that one AK. Kevlar on some players, helmets on others. They go straight into the B-side default. It's Man2 here to defend alongside Dude, and actually Logan will catch the first man off guard. Nadine watches some damage against them, not much though. Incendiaries and utility being thrown down, but it's one last player. 2 more rotating to back them up. Here they come. Extra Molotovs down, going to burn alive for a lot of damage on Matt End, and Toinu just solo HP across the entire T-side line. M4 sprays, catches off one blind. AWP gets another one back to the 4 versus 3, and continues to face further around. As one behind Nubox is ready for back in. Slacks is going to miss. Logan's going to punish it, and XMS punishes the last. AUG also gets taken down, leaving it all on Stefan, the only man waiting back on the A bomb site. LDLC, how have they turned this around?
It's probably just maybe it's karma. I mean, they somehow lost their last round to a 3K to Cressy. Maybe this is karma coming back and giving LDLC the round they maybe deserved, the previous one. And now it's Stefan just trying to save his AK. I mean, could we take a quick look at the money from Alternate? They could, I mean, he could try to go for some exit kills, especially if he knows there is at least one AWP waiting on the T side. Because if he gets even one more kill, this just, I mean, it's a big struggle for LDLC. It would be a big struggle for LDLC in the next round economically.
The Alternate can rebuy, even if it is a hard buy. Specifics right here. M4s, AUGs. AWP coming in for Slacks as well, who has been pretty good in his AWP skills so far. It's been a little bit up and down though. Again, he's been landing some very, very good shots, and then other times he's just not been able to land a whole lot at all. We're facing up against the AWP this time with the T-side, who have also got a double AWP setup, interestingly enough. You don't see this very often from T-sides on any map. And Inferno. Slacks trying to aggress and catch off anyone towards second mid, but most of the T-side default is playing out over here in Banana. Look at how many players are clustered up top mid and top Banana position. Mantu and Dude lining up. This is a very dangerous angle, if anything else. You know, one good AWP shot lines them both up. They're both dead. That's the entire B site crippled. How do they expect this to be successful, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, it's just an odd choice from Terrorist to play a double AWP setup on the T side, and then also, I mean, alternate. It's an off angle, but it's also a big risk they take. One great pop flash, and this could be already the 3B side.
Hold on for it. First, he gets the first man, but not the second. Dude takes Toinu back out the 4 versus 4 and continuing to frag and do some damage on 2 more players. That should have been a collateral every day of the week, I think, but either way. Here they come. CT's rotating in slowly again. Will allow this bomb to go down for LDLC. Obviously nothing that Dude can do to deny it. And again, all 4 players in from CT spawn. Logan's going to go for a big backstab. Get ready for any more CTs that want to come forward. It's Slacks taking out Devaduvek, starting things off for alternate attacks here on the retake angles. The time is a ticking. And LDLC still have 3 left in play with rifles. AWP still out. AUG around the corner, sprays and lines up 2. There's the collateral we were looking for. Meanwhile, Stefan moving forward. A Dude goes down. He's the last player left alive. Matten with 4 kills holds the defensive for LDLC.
And this could have been the most important round, because now Alternate, they are down to a full eco. And after this round, it will be 15-11. And then it's 4 map points for LDLC. We both probably thought, well, I mean, Alternate, it's the best map. Inferno, LDLC struggling really hard on Inferno so far. And then also just playing with stand and with their, I think, coach or analyst, Kraft, in the first half. And still LDLC seems to be on top of this half, of this first map. I mean, I'm just a little bit curious about the approach from Cressy.
Nice. Very stealthy.
No.
You may even get a second frag if XMS goes a bit overly aggressive.
Oh no!
Fine. Cressy. Clapping in the background. I mean, I have to applaud him as well. That's fantastic again from Cressy to find as much as he did with just a USP and a Zeus. Bomb will go down on the B bomb site. Retake chance for alternate attacks. They've done so much damage to LDLC already, but it looks like they're going to commit and try to see if they can steal this round away. Denied his map point, obviously, for their opposing force. As Maten gets ready, Slacks moving in, flashes over, and Logan takes down. Slacks getting control once again for the team side. Pressing up and up with the antenna, but sprays his way on through, gets himself the 3K so far. Round about with the USP, Stefan finishes the job and have actually done it. Alternate attacks with a full eco, USPs, and one Zeus have managed the 12th.
And once more, well played by Cressy. I mean, he just waited for someone to jump around on the balcony. Then he saw the little head from, I think, Tuanu. Gets the first USP kill, and then it looked like a drive-by Zeus kill on the second one. Beautifully played. I mean, what a round to win. And what an important round, because now, first of all, Alternate, they still have a chance to close it out in regular playtime. And also LDLC, they're quite low on money. So if Alternate is able to win this round with level up setup, this could be the comeback they were hoping for. And let's see if they can finish off the first map with this beautiful double op setup on Schlex and Mantu once more.
Double op setup in play from Alternate Attacks. One out here towards the A site, as you can see. The other playing back on B to commit everything they can at this point. Obviously, LDLC looking for the reset. Alternate Attacks want a little bit more out of this one. The smokes go in, the CTs try and hold them back. 60 seconds remain for LDLC's push. They are committing to B. AWP shot for Mantu. Takes the first man down. It's opening frag traded back by XMS until the AWP locks out the quick wall bang. Looking for Deva Duvek and they're trying to cross. Oh, the timing is beautiful. Nades back in on Deva. Will do some serious damage to the Molotov on Toinu. It's a 4v2. And Alternate Attacks, they boost up. They've got all the map control they need. As Mantu just goes absolutely ham with the AWP. 4 kills. Deva Duvek, the only man that remains to fend off the remaining of Alternate Attacks. The AWP wants its ace. It's looking in. Devo just about to consummation spray on through, but Slacks takes him down, finishing the job. All kills on AWPs, 13 for Alternate.
And it's one more round just by pure individual playstyle. Mantu getting a nice 4K, securing the round. And now LDLC, they could be in a lot of trouble. We'll take a look at how much money they've left after the bomb plant. And at this point, I mean, they could go for a pistol buy, and I think this should be a pistol buy because XMS already bought the Deagle. Same goes for Tuanu, Maton. There's the pistol buy coming in, and if they lose this round, it's going to be 14-14. They will be able to afford once more a fully buy, but still, I mean, what a comeback from Alternate, being down 40-11, only having a few pistols left, and it's Cressy. Got a important round, and then once more Mantu with his AWP.
Oh. Nade stacks once again doing damage to LDLC as they are suppressed back over to Banana. They try to aggress Banana and just go quickly into the B-bomb site. But Alternate Attacks have that on down on lock. Now LDLC going to wrap back over to A once again. There's 3 players here. The first quick spray out. Slacks here with the AWP also ready to receive. That dropped the bomb as well. CT know exactly where it is. The crossfire can just rotate in and get stuck down. Easy pickings for the AK on the other side. China does get one good 1D. There's at least a little bit of damage being done. Now the AG back now, that's 2 players spotted. They spray on through, take the first man. Can't quite find the second of Toinu, but 13 points of health. He's going to go down. And there you go, all evened up. Alternate Attacks have brought this back to evens. We've got a full 30-round distance. And LDLC have one more buyback to try and make sure they get to map point first.
Yeah, and let's see, I mean, this would be just an amazing comeback from Alternate if they're able to close out the first map. Because now LLC, the only problem I see on their part is that Tuanu doesn't have the AWP, but it looks like a choice he made deliberately because he had the money to buy an AWP. I mean, he has an AK, still 1.3k left, and also a lot of utility. So they're just going for some explosive play. They're faking the B side control, banana control, and now the A hits should come in very soon, but the grenades also just hitting perfectly from Alternate.
Coming through from Stefan as Maten gets the first. The AWP trying to press back on Slacks' part of things. So close to Molotov actually lands against him. They crossfire. Great 3 players spotted. Stefan only gets 1 as he drops the bomb. And the AWP is dealt with 4 versus 2 scenario. Deva Duvek on 1 point of health as well. One well-placed grenade can take him down. They haven't got any on the Alternate Attack side. Just flashbangs, Molotovs, and smokes. How do they retake this one? It's Mantu ready with the AWP right around that corner, looking for the shot on the first. Dude ready to receive anyone that comes out the other side in the mid position. Time ticks away. Alternate attacks. Map point for them ticks away. Scopes in from the AWP. Toinu going to face around. Here comes the exit frags. One spray. Cannot connect it on any more than that. Molotov's into the corner. Going to try and force around, do a little bit of damage. This could do a little bit more to them. Exibus burning alive at 35. Yes, he will go up to the bomb. And Toinu also falls to the Molotov as well. Welcome to Doja Dunk, except more like the Doja Roast coming in from the CT side.
And well played from Dude. I mean, he made the best possible decision because the retake was way too hard. In a 2v4, I mean, Alta they still have enough money, so Dude only with an M4 going for doing as lot of damage as possible. Because now we can see LDLC. They lost, I think, 4 players in this round. It's Swanu who could drop an AK. But other than that, Logan probably down to SMG. Same could go for David Duvek. So it's a great chance for Alta to at least get to overtime. But I must say, in the last round, it seems like a perfect call from Mata. Because it was really like a deliberate choice to say, Twanu, don't buy an LWP, let's go for 5 AKs and try something explosive, because we've been playing very passive so far. Maybe we'll catch Alternate off guard, and it worked just perfectly.
The tactical pause, of course, being called by Logan of LDLC, realizing that Alternate still have a chance in this one. Obviously, the AWP's coming through, the M4s and the AUG, so they've got a full-blown buy. LDLC at least reading that much. It's all down to the specifics. Again, they are pretty weak of their own right. A Deagle for XMS. A Mac 10 for David Duvek. Even though they didn't win that last round, they have got a disadvantage going into this one. Alternate attacks can very easily turn this over to overtime here. I think it's possible. I think it's actually quite likely, all things considered. It all comes down to this first pick from Toinu. If he gets down the AWP here of Slacks, that's a major weapon taken out of play by the CT side, but they're not going to face. They're just going to wait back, play their standard defaults, and get ready for the LDLC execution.
And let's see if they will, maybe try something explosive once more. Well, Alternate could maybe have the perfect read in this round. But at least they could be ready for some explosive play. I mean, the thing is that David Duvek is the only one preparing for apartments. His teammates are just standing way back, maybe hoping for or waiting for something aggressive to happen on the side of Alternate. Well, this looks like an A fake. It's gonna be a B hit, but rotation is not coming in. Both players still waiting on a B side. It's all up to them to secure the 15th round for Alternate.
And Mantu, the AWP, take first face. Deagle in, Cress in, do get the first 2 frags. The lurk on the A site now. Got it all rested on Logan, Maten, and Toinu, who gets an AWP shot on Mantu. Nice shot back in for the second. Dink down, and Dude's going to hold out. No! Great flashbang support, but he goes falling in the end. Slacks gets Toinu back down, dropping the big green gun, leaving it to the 2 AKs of LDLC to close out this map. Smokes down, flashes in. They're not ready for this. As Maten gets caught out in the open. Logan left out towards the coffins. Sprays against the first headshot, but 27 HP. Both plays. He's sprays, he gets the headshot. Logan with a 3K clutch just to put the map over the edge by LDLC. It's 16-14 to the Frenchman. Alternate attacks crumble at the very last hurdle.
I mean, what a perfect match to begin the new week, I would say. I mean, it just insane. It was so sure this was going to be overtime on the side of Alternate. I mean, they had the perfect retake. Both players on the A side just instantly dying, not getting anything done, and then even the pop flash coming in perfectly for Dude. And just it's the M4 with silencer. 20 bullets. It's not enough to get anything done. And yeah, in the end, I mean, Logan just beautifully played. And what a first map. Second map will be cash, but I think we need to take a little break after the first one, and then we will be back with the second map on cash. We are back after we saw a very, very close first map on Inferno. We'll now see Cash in a very short amount of time. I mean, Cash could be interesting since I think you mentioned it in, earlier that it's a map where both teams could be struggling.
Yes, it could well be. Not going to lie about that one. I'd say that alternate attacks will struggle because they've had very little experience in the last couple of months. I mean, they have played a couple of different times against a couple of different squads. But the only real notable name right there is Harvu, and I wouldn't rate Harvu on the same sort of level as alternate attacks. I think they probably could possibly be a slightly better team if they just get themselves in focus. LDLC, on the other hand, have played this a couple of different times, a lot of different times actually over the course of the last few months. And they have lost almost every single time, unfortunately. The only times they won was on LAN against the Renegades at 16-14, which admittedly was still a close affair. And Renegades felt like they had a pretty good, confident hold that one up until they got started on the LDLC side. And then they also won against Virtus Pro in the Mountain Dew League. And Virtus Pro are a roster that still have a little bit of still have a few problems to work out. There's still like a brand new roster. There's still a lot to see whether they can do anything significant. So I'm not sure how to weigh them up other than that, because every other time they've played it, they have lost, and usually lost in pretty one-sided fashion.
Yeah, it will be interesting if maybe both teams will be struggling, or, I mean, to be honest, we both expect LDLC to probably just get crushed on Inferno, and somehow they surprise us, so maybe Cash will see once more the same, so, I mean...
Well, I will say, in regards to LDLC and their performance on Inferno as a whole, like, you know, it felt like it was a much more confident side than we were expecting. You know, we thought that this all going to revolve around that banana control. If they can't get that, then they're going to struggle on T side, and they're probably going to struggle on CT side if they don't want to challenge for it. And that's exactly what ended up happening. They gained that banana control. They had confident defaults. They had confident executions. You know, as LDLC, they were looking great. Maybe they might also look great on Cash. I don't know if that's just a day form thing, or whether that's probably something that's just, you know, is a bit something that, again, maybe they have been practicing those maps. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see just in a short amount of time, because I think the pistol is already live. So let's just jump right into the game and see if LLC will once more surprise us, or at least this time Alternate will secure one map in its best of 2 series. Dude, onto flashes, on the fuse kit. This normally shows you're trying to play a retake, but it doesn't seem like it. I mean, 2, it's more or less a default setup. 2 on the B side, 3 on the A side. Oh, but both players just hiding behind in CT spawn, not really trying to go too aggressive. And the smoke comes in, they don't give any kill, and it should be a 5-man retake on the side of Alternate.
Diffusing for Dude, he's the first responder on the rotations. As LDLC get into the bomb site relatively unscathed. In fact, they find Steph into the mid position. His mountain is ready to receive and does take the opening frag of the map for LDLC, but can they keep those going? The trades are up for alternate attacks. They're in a difficult retake scenario, but the backstab's coming through, and Slacks takes down Toy Nu, and the push coming in from Matin will take out Dude. Here they come in the backstab positions. It's Cressy making his way to the middle site. Oh, nice shots from Slacks, who not quite hold on though. Still, Mantu comes up with a headshot in the 1 versus 1. He's got to pick up that defuse kit. It's on the bomb site itself, and the flashbang's coming through from Matin. He's going to try and support. He has actually got that defuse. It's been dropped somewhere else, and it looks like it's completely out of time on this one. Will catch the frag, but has to fall back, and it will be a pistol to the favor of LDLC.
And a very close pistol once more. I mean, they both teams just started where they ended on the first map, with more close and close rounds. And Alternate, I mean, we saw them force on Inferno. I don't think they will force on Cash, because Cash is a map where you don't have too many, well, let's say you have a lot of choke points. So for example, Inferno, if you have 2 or 3 smokes, you can always delay the terrorists from going onto the B side, from maybe even going up the middle. But on Cash, we have the B side, you have the A side, you have Squeaky, main, middle. I mean, so many positions to just smoke off. So therefore, it makes quite sense to go for a full eco in the second round.
A lot of different teams have a bit of a different approach to this sort of buy-up. You know, a lot of the time it is recommended that you just eco so you can get those rifles out in round 3. But, you know, especially around the CIS and Asia regions, a lot of teams end up actually forcing the issue, regardless, in that second round. So, interesting little point to see how alternate attacks would approach this. As you say, they are just going to eco, because again, it makes sense. There's rifles out here for Cash. On the CT side, it's really the one thing you need more than anything else, because both teams, as most teams are heavily T-side biased. So this first half is meant to go well for LDLC, and so far in this round, it is going relatively well. It's 3 picks untraded by the alternate attack side. 1 kill for the MAC-10 as well, going to farm up some money. See if he can backstab it against Stefan and Slacks. Might be able to do so. Nope, Logan takes out 1. And Slacks out here, does dink, but he's not going to get much than that. All 5 stay alive. 20 with 2. 2 on the board for LDLC.
It will be interesting to see if they will keep those MP5, so those SMGs, 1 MP5 and XMS, make on Tuanu, because they could expect maybe alternate to not have too much head armor on some players, because it's the second round and they opt out to go for a lot of utility. Oh, and look at the nice B aggression coming in. Tuanu, they get charged with his AK, nearly finds the first, and will LET just... I mean, they're still going for it. Now with the smoke just being thrown down, he decides to once more fall back, but it's early B aggression, rotation even coming in, only 1 guy on the A side and LDLC. They just tried maybe to open up the side, open up the B side, when they just realized, okay, we're not able to find opening kill. Let's just regroup and try to go for mid control instead.
And we'll go for mid control on the LDLC side. Alternate attacks just going to concede it in the wall. They left a little bit of utility as the Molotovs came flying in. Cressy will be suppressed back behind the smoke as he tries to gain some mid control, but he's got 3 players to deal with. And little does you know, Xmas is playing Overwatch. He's focusing on garage and floor areas, not going for the icebox area. Molotov's in, we'll get some information on the angle of that one, and now facing in with a flashbang. Does catch a couple of players, but Logan's the man that gets the overall frag, and Cressy not executing, not getting the information, let alone getting those frags. Meanwhile, Dude's going to get taken down out to the main area, but Stefan and Cressy get 2 frags right back. Stefan's going to get overwhelmed and all on Cressy. Try and cut off any more here, but blind spraying through the smoke will not catch any of the players. 3 versus 2 scenario. The bomb has gone down. And from here, it's a pretty decent lockout scenario for LDLC. The AWP to one side can't push forward. The M4 has to do most of the work, and Cressy just not finding anything. No vision, no info, no frags. And they continue to suppress with utility alone for LDLC. Alternate attacks might just concede, throwing in the towel.
And it felt like Cressy was maybe trying to get 1 more kill, and then maybe the retake would have come in. But now Schlex even going for more exit kills, which, I mean, is somewhat dangerous, because if he loses AWP, it wouldn't be, I mean, too good for alternate in the next round. Because there's still 1 AK left, still AWP, so if Schlex has the right spawn to maybe get an early entry pick, they could make it work. And they could even go for some kind of buy. If Cressy wants to drop in FAMAS, but it doesn't look like it. Only pistols, so it also makes sense to buy some pistols, some utility on the 3 remaining players who didn't save their weapon, and maybe let Cressy and Schlex take the charge in this round. But Schlex, is he able to go aggressive? It doesn't seem like it. He's just playing it to some degree safe, going for a nice opening kill from White Box. Just trying to peek somehow over the smoke.
Logan slowly creeping up at the very edge of the smoke. Dude does get caught off guard. Playing so carefully, so ready to take a frag, but in the end it just wasn't to work out for alternate attacks. They're giving a fantastic opening frag as well. Try to turn the tide of this round. But LDLC with that kill and with the utility usage are going to gain mid-control. Devaduvek meanwhile fragging with a headshot on Stephanie. We'll get traded back by the AWP of Slacks. Toying the nose, he's going to face around, but so close, he actually catches the frag. We're back to 3 versus 3, and they've got main control. If he focuses any further, he might find the bomb planter. He may even find XMS on the frag. AWP so close to the lockout that Matt ends on a very, very big backstab. He does take Mantu down, leaving it all on the AWP. Now XMS ready to frag, looking for shots against him. AWP has to bring him on that. Locked on the corner, he's a footstep. Back here on XMS, can't get the trade frag. And Cressy is left alone over to the B bomb site. Trying to do it way too much. Slacks, unfortunately, no backup, was isolated, so this probably is going to be around for LDLC at 4-0. Cressy can rotate in, might take Logan down to the AK out. He's going to catch him off guard. Not expecting him to be close. And there it is. So far, the flawless start from the Frenchman.
Yeah, and a very interesting round. I mean, it looked like Schlex had the perfect idea. He knew Maton was somewhere around car, or maybe at least he could have been somewhere around middle around car. Deciding to push it through main. And even LDLC, I mean, XMS played it nearly perfectly, fighting a little bit more time for his teammate to arrive. Smoke somehow misses, but I mean, that's once more maybe the CSGO smoke and Molotov combination coming in. And you saw even Schlex, oh, he isn't expecting him to push through the smoke, but he's still somehow able to fall back, and Cressy has the perfect timing. Also Schlex there to get the second player, and a nice try from LDLC, because we saw Schlex use his smoke. He was expecting a Molotov to come in, and now it's LDC trying to get mid-control.
What a crossfire from Flax and Cressy. Get those 2 frags. LDLC tagged up across their entire line as a result. This push is going to be very difficult for them. And as you say, they gain mid control. Do ready to face it. If he catches Toinu off guard, that's a massive, massive frag with his back turn. Nade's coming from Stefan as well. Going to do some serious damage. Devo will fall to the hands of Dude. And Logan with 13 points of health, completely isolated to the mid position. His teammates trying to find another angle. Stefan was with a blind spray, will take him down. And the AWP finishes off the last. Team ace for alternate attacks. Very confident round there, not losing a single player. Playing off of each other, playing around the opposing line. It was almost perfect counter-strike from the CT side.
Yeah, just a nice round overall. And also just, I mean, that's something that takes, I would say, some form of intelligent playstyle. As you see, Schlex, as soon as he realized there's a smoke into Venture, not the Molotov, he instantly tried to fall back into CT spawn because he expected them to push through the smoke. That's also a nice detail, but XMS, he waited for a pop flash, somehow not able to get the kill. It looked like he was just really on, at least for a dink. But now Stefan in a lot of trouble because he is trapped in the corner in main. And Dude, he needs to be careful because I think from behind there will be coming a pop train. Oh, and alternate a lot of trouble in this round.
Oh, and AWP from Schlex to miss out. One almost lined up a collateral on the second, but no. Toinu takes him down alongside. That's all Cressy. 1 versus 4. Tagged up, caught out to the position. He'll go falling, and indeed he will. Toinu. Secondary kill, 2 to his name, and 5 on the board for LDLC. A reset against alternate attacks as well. They are hard shut down here on the CT side. It is the expected start for LDLC. Obviously, they do play T side better, but the same can be said for alternate attacks. So, of course, have to take this hit, have to take this eco for the next one. Hopefully, hoping to get as many rounds and focus on that T side more than anything else.
Yeah, it's nice to see LLC. I mean, they're taking the charge on cash. And it's sad to see for Alternate on the other side that they are able to get one flawless round and then also just get crushed on the next one. And therefore, back to pistols and LLC. But they themselves, they don't have, I mean, the best economy you'd expect when you're leading 5-1.
Shot open things up for Maximus. Take down the first player on the eco, second frag on Stefan as well. Over in the MBK corner. One backstab will come through from the CT line here. Dude actually might catch off one. Ooh, P2, 50 misses, never mind. Matten now knows what's coming. Will face around. Oh, should be ready for Slack, so he's going to take him down. That'll be a nice kill for 1 rifle. Now Cressy ready to support, look for a second kill back into the higher position. Now peeking in, knows that there's one on top of the catwalk. Logan tapped up twice. Cressy can't take him down. Toinu takes some more damage as well. So alternate attacks doing well enough to try and suppress LDLC, but in the end, they're the ones getting killed off. Only 1 frag found, 3 more for LDLC. It's 6 that'll be on the board, of course, at the end of this round. Alternate struggling, but again, it's expected. It was an eco round. They did only buy 1 piece of Kevlar for Cressy. Everyone else have basic pistols and upgrades. But this next round is where things are going to spice up. They've got $4,800, $4,700 at minimum. They have enough for a buy here. With an AK to boost them up as well. Plenty of firepower to work with.
And let's see, it's maybe once more the LWP on Schlex. And Schlex, is he even thinking about dropping another AWP for Mantua? It doesn't seem like it. He's going for equipment, Kevlar, and a helmet. And also, I mean, Dude, the IGL, he's taking a big hit in this round. He could have bought just Kevlar, but he goes for an AUG, less cannon AUG, and a lot of utility.
And this is my first half turning out relatively well for LDLC so far. Again, I was expecting it to go relatively well, but I was also expecting alternate attacks to have a bit of a fight. 6-1, 5 rounds in deficit. Probably could be going 7 or 8-1 if they get this next round. Mantu already will buy down with the M4, so Dude with no Kevlar is the main sticking point for me. That's going to seriously hurt with the aim punch of the AKs. Headshots obviously count for everybody regardless. The M4 straight in and shut down by XMS. Executed. That's an opening frag towards that mid position. We'll try to take him up on the back of this. Is Cresta, the next responder though here in the vents area. Gonna peek in, spot Logan, spray, take him down. Now looking towards the second man up top the boost position. Won't see him with the thanks to the smoke. Molotov will come in and try and keep him away. He will use that smoke to re-smoke it and just get out of dodge. Not taking a lot of damage and taking away any map control from LDLC.
And Molotov, of course, now he needs to be careful. He's just expecting maybe Cressy to lurk around this in the smoke, but Cressy already dropped down. There's a pop flash coming in, but he's not finding Cressy. But dude,
no.
he's not ready for it. Maybe some miscommunication because he was not expecting someone to come through vents. And this should be a free B side, and I think Alternate they could already go for a save. They don't have too much utility, they don't even have a defuse kit, so Schlax will try to maybe get one lucky shot through a wall, but now realize no one is in the vent room. Just falling back and trying to save 3 remaining weapons on the side of Alternate. Oh, Mata? Well, not the best timing for him.
Shouldn't be too much of a problem for LDLC though, because they do get the 3 AKs out. Build on their money line, and with the money line sitting at where it is, it should just give them a pretty decent standing into the next buy-up. So for Alternate, it's just a case of holding on to their weapons. 7-1 will be on the board here as they go 3 rounds in loss bonus. Like I was saying, this possibly could be the difference between 8 to 1 half and 9 to 1 half potentially. Alternate attacks are really struggling on CT side, and yeah, we were saying potentially it could be a bit of a struggle. Potentially both teams could struggle to get themselves out of dodge. T side is where they'll be holding in phase 4, and that's where they're going to make up most of their points. But Alternate attacks getting absolutely decimated, particularly to the mid position. Those first few picks from LDLC have been absolutely stellar.
Yeah, I mean, XMS just really taking the charge to opening up the middle. But this time it's Cressy who finds XMS, so it seems like Alternate they learned the lesson. Pop flash coming in, not really connecting, and Mantu holding a perfect angle. And also Tuanu already getting tagged down to 16 HP. I mean, this round could be one of the flawless rounds, but it's so strange to see where Alternate, I mean, if they would maybe win a round, it somehow feels a little bit like a flawless round. But if they lose, they also lose in a very dominant fashion.
That's the key thing right there, losing in dominant fashion. Right now, that's certainly case in point on the scoreboard. 7-1, the full Brazil for LDLC. I'll take some damage to this next one, so Alternate Attacks might score their second here. So, 2-for-1 trade so far, and again, HP advantage that favors them. The 45 seconds still remain on the clock, and LDLC are spread apart. If they go to B right now, they could shut down the AWP of Slacks. Especially if you've got no control towards the checkers area. You're going to have to call for backup here in the form of Cressy. They go around the corner. Stefan does find Logan, expecting that aggressive force. So Matin just couldn't quite get there. He's ready to drop down as Stefan moves back in. Flashbangs will go over. He sees it, spots it, sprays it. Can't quite take these players down. Stefan comes up with yet another kill, dropping the bomb. And Tony way out of position, way out of dodge, has to save the AWP because he doesn't have much of a choice. That's going to be the second round on the board for the CT side. And I was talking about LDLC's great opening frags. Same thing for Alternate Attacks. Great defensives when it comes to fruition.
Yeah, and it's only Tuanu left. Will save his AWP. But it's so odd. It's so odd to see Alternate in some rounds they just win all their duels. It seems like it's way too easy for them, and then just in the next round they get crushed by LDLC. And let's see if this will be the case once more. And LDLC will, to some degree, maybe force Alternate into a very odd buy. Tuanu trying to get an opening kill into main. Just peeking behind the smoke. Maybe expecting someone to push through the smoke. Just to play around the corners. Also XMS, he was probably just seeing the smoke. Not really guarding too much. And Schlax, he really wants to go aggressive. And he could keep going aggressive. The problem is probably for him, he can't be sure that no one is hiding in sunroom. We can see him just waiting to his left, to his right, checking every corner of sunroom. Now Cressy just falls back, so they're quite sure that no one is hiding on B. Maybe also because the A aggression is coming in. And if LDLC doesn't at some point try to re-aggress the B side, they could face 4 people waiting on the A side.
One of which is the AWP of Man 2. Hits some incredible shots on Inferno. Can you do the same thing here for Cash? There's 50 seconds remaining. LDLC trying to gain that mid control as they wrap back out of the A default. Dude with the AUG ready for face. He doesn't spot Logan actually. Going to get suppressed and patched down as a result. Not much damage done, but now the T side come into the B bomb site. It slacks as the low man to defend it. Spots the first at Checker. Seeing the flashbangs come forward. Can't quite avoid it, but will fall back behind the wall. Now refacing for the second player. Nice flashbangs coming through from the T side to keep him completely blind. But he will place once again, gets full control of the cross. Second frag for him. And a massive gap left for the edge of the smoke. Flashbang does catch him off, and finally Toinu gets that trade. 4v3 scenario. Make it 3, however. XMS trailing dude back, and now alternate attacks have conceded the bomb site and conceded control back in this one. Cressy hoping for a good wallbang spray, but not doing any damage. Toinu not the worst possible positions, and alternate attacks just can't seem to get their way back into this one. They are running out of time. LDLC with the bomb down. Planted back corner, and Stefan moves in alongside Cressy. Here they go. One on the side to deal with, 2 more back over at Checkers. Massive waits. XMS gets the frag. Stefan does trading right back, and now looking for a bit more. They have to stick this hold of fuse though. Cressy got to take their attention away. He sprays on the first banner, looking back to the bomb site. No one's there though. XMS ready.
Oh,
he
XMS!
missed the shot. Back in the second flick's not gonna find. And alternate attacks. A little bit of luck will get them through the night as they get their third on the CT board.
And so close. XMS just seen the backside of the city defusing and not able to connect the shot. And that's a round for alternate, but I mean, it looked like this should have been a round for LDLC, to be honest. Got the bomb down, it was a 3v3 retake. Alternate taking a lot of time. And you even saw Cressy, some communication wasn't going too well because Cressy was focused for a few seconds on the A side, spraying through the box beforehand, before someone of his teammates just told him, hey, I think side should be cleared. Maybe you can try to get a frag onto Checkers. And let's see, alternate, at least one follow-up round, but still not too, not too well economically. If they lose this round, this would be a hard reset. And LDLC, they seem to go for A execute, at least they're trying to better some equipment. When Matoy takes the charge, goes in first. First AWP shot misses, but now still they need to get onto the A side.
Taking down the 9 HP, so it's not quite missing out, but alternate attacks to not get that frag. As it's Logan to open things up. Stefan waiting around his corner. So ready for XMS, ready to receive, and the spray is good for the first. Back to 4 versus 4. And wallbang damage still done. Stefan still takes the second frag on the way back out. And the AWP and Mansu can lock out the bomb plot alongside Slacks, who takes down Logan. 1v3 left from that end. A clutch or kick scenario against Cressy, just rounding that corner, knows he's low. The M4 is enough to get that frag, and it will be a 4th on the ball for alternate attacks. Took them a very long time to get themselves together on this one. Took a very long time to get some decent rounds, but now they have connected themselves a total of 3 in a row and 4 on the board so far for the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a close one for alternate. They're always able to win those rounds just by a stretch, at least in the last 2 rounds. Therefore, making the comeback to some degree. 4 rounds on the board. It would be nice for them to maybe at least get 6 rounds, because I would still say Cash, in most cases, seems to be a little bit T-sided. So if alternate is able to get maybe 6 rounds, they still, I mean, should stand a chance to win Cash.
Execution from LDLC will try and get control of the A bomb site as they go quickly into this default and quickly out to the execution here with the pistols, the Tech 9s and CZs. Up close and personal, Stefan's ready for XMS. Does take the headshot back down and phase through the smoke, but Logan trades him right back out. The M4 now suppressing the AWP. He looks on towards Squeaky. I think he spotted Devo, but doesn't get the frag. The bomb can get planted as a result. It is 4 versus 4. They have considered control of the bomb site. Indeed, Toinu will fall to the hands of Slags. Now 10 in the mid position, trying to catch off Dude as Logan gets the trade and a second, a 3k overall, almost a 4th against the AWP, but now leaves it all on Devo. 34 versus 41, a 1-on-1. Bomb plant down towards default, Slacks up for the 3k. The AWP not ideal for this close range retake. The smoke will go down. He'll tap the bomb once, and the Tech 9 spams it, almost with the whole thing. But Deva Duvek comes out on top, and LDLC will recover the 8th, recover their half.
And that's the tag time sometimes. I mean, with the old tag time probably would have gotten 6 kills with 4 bullets somehow. But with the new one, it's sometimes a struggle. I mean, you just saw it. Everduvek panicking for just a second. And it looks like a very fast approach towards the B side. Mato taking a little bit middle of his grenades, but look at the explosive plays. Schlex, he places around the edge, but Tuanu again, one nice opening kill. And they always somehow find their way on the B side. Schlex, he's trying his best, but once more, I mean, if you play so explosive and you're all by yourself on the B side, there's not much you can do.
Opening frag on Slacks. There's a backstab coming through from Cressy. He's ready to receive any T-side players that make their way out from the T-spawn, but yeah, retake here. Probably off the cards for alternate attacks. A nice easy hit into LDLC's part of things, and you know, alternate with not a whole lot to work with anyway. I have to just concede. I mean, look at the money line. $100, $200 at best for Cressy. Everybody else, 100 or nothing. For Mars and M4 is the best we're going to get into round 14. Have to look towards that 3-round loss bonus buy if they have to. So saving the rifles here. Best case scenario for alternate attacks. I'm going to get that wear down and thin against the LDLC, so he loses one of those M4s. And again, that's not recoverable at this stage for the ZT side. So only 2 rifles to work with for them in round 14. I think I have to go 10 to 5 in order to get themselves a decent chance in the second half.
Yeah, now it's alternate just really struggling to at least get 5 or 6 rounds out of this half. It's a very odd buy with an M4 and Mentor, probably the weapons they still have. Schlex, once more, I mean, I'm not quite sure why alternate is not trying to adapt, because it's always LDLC somehow pressuring the B side. And if you know Schlex, you're all on by yourself, with only USP, not too much utility. Maybe you should try to play it a little bit safe and give Mentor and Stefan a little bit more time to react to get the opening kill. They both push main, but it's only 1 frag, and maybe that's not enough. Cressy somehow able to pick up the FAMAS. And he's just... Okay, see the spot. I was just a little bit confused, but XMS, he's not confused. He finds the out of Cressy. And Mantu, he could go for a save at this point.
Gonna have to go for a save at this point. M4 is all that remains. Everyone else got taken down super early, and that FAMAS is out of play as well, so alternate attacks under the hard by in this next round. Working with at least 3 rounds of loss bonus, that's something, but... yeah, 10 will be on the board for LDLC at the turn of the half, at least. Possibly even 11 to 4, which is not a good sign for alternate attacks. Now, I did say that they struggle. I said the T-side would be great for them, but 11 to 4 is a very, very difficult scoreline to surmount. So, pretty decent opportunity to get themselves a bit more of a lifeline. Try to get themselves back in here in this next round. Try and see if they can gain a bit of a lifeline, because 10-5 is much more doable. But of course, they have to all put it into this next buy here. And they'll take a tactical pause because they know it as much as we do. They need this next round pretty desperately.
And I think it will be interesting to see if alternate will maybe now once more leave Schlex alone on the B side. Because at this point, I think we'll see some probably just IGL against IGL, so that maybe do this thinking well. They try to attack the B side so many times that in the last round they will maybe expect us to play more aggressive towards the B side. So therefore we'll once more leave Schlex on his own. So I'm not quite sure if he just will try to think one step further, we will just say, hey, I think they're always going to the B side, let's just play some default 2 on B, 1 in the middle, 2 on A. Let's try to play something safe and not something too risky again.
I hope they're not going too risky for this next round either here. Cannot afford to at this point. LDLC is such a commanding lead above the German squad. Again with the M4s and AUGs up against the full set of AKs and AWPs for LDLC. A lot of utility that you can use at least for the alternate side, but look at the quick defaults coming through. One lurker out towards the B bomb site, and instantly the AWP is in here for Toinu. Mantu is here, going to try and actually boost his teammate up on top, Stefan. Ready for the Shroud spot. Historical placement. Historical moments. I wonder if we can make another one right here. Although that being said, the T-side decided they're going to vacate away, so they're not going to go out of main. So Maten moves up. Gap at the edge of the smoke, looking onto truck. Can't quite catch all the angles, so looks like they're going to fall back out of here from the forklift position, and now Logan left alone. Up top of the boost spot, ready to cover off his teammates, and they want to go for mid control. Most of the LDLC are going to work around its A site. That looks to be the hit.
Just dude, I mean, he was not ready for it. Stefan instantly just trying to get the kill, gets him tagged down, but it's meant to getting to Anu, and Stephanie gets a lot of map control. Pushing in too many, know that they would do should be still around certain. Look at XMS, but he should be known. He got Cressy. They need to expect someone to push for connector. And XMS, he's not quite sure. Should he go A? Should he go B? I mean, the bomb is still down. They have the bomb. Have they bomb? No, they don't know that the bomb is down. But Stefan, if he just keeps on pushing, he could see the bomb in just a second. And now he should know that the bomb is down. And he has a perfect read, but they would do back. No. The timing is off. And now Schlex. It all fell apart just in a few seconds.
16 seconds left. Actually, hold on, the bomb's still to rotate in it. I was going to say for a second, if Slack's able to get to the back of the A bomb site defensive and try and cut it off at main, then maybe that could be a chance to try and win the round off the back of that. But he decides to go towards Z instead. And XMS is a nice gap, as you can see right there at the edge of the smoke. So you're able to get that kill relatively easily. 11-4 will be the end half scoreline for LDLC. Again, that's very difficult for Alternate to overcome. As you can see, only 5 more rounds, and LDLC will take a nice 2-0 above Alternate after what has been a very, very good T-side half, all things considered.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still a bit impressed, although if you take a look at the scoreboard, and we see only dude is down to 2 kills, but other than that, it looks like if you couldn't see the scoreline, you would maybe expect a, let's say, 9-6, maybe even an 8-7, because all those frags, no one of LDLC has like 20 frags or maybe even 18. It's all around 10 frags, 12. Same goes for Alternate. And they don't want to waste any time. It's going to be a fast piece play. They will do back. He needs to be careful. Just realized there are a few players waiting in vent. A nice opening kill onto Cressy and from Cressy. And he finds the second one. Flash comes in perfectly, but Cressy still finds a frag. And now Mata only able to trade one more kill.
Pinks away at the right time. Cressy's allowed to cross with the bomb on his back. So plant down for back of sight. 4v3 retake favor to Alternate. LDLC. Now they're going to approach this retake. Still got Matin with the defuse on his side. XMS still working out of heaven. Trying to see if he can find one of these T-side players, but nothing is going in his favor once again. Shots on shots, and Toynu lands it onto Mantu, deals with him. Stefan comes back in with another frag on Matin. XMS ready for a face, but Slacks will take out his backup, so it's all on him. Heaven, good headshot. Now going to drop right down, pick up the bomb diffuser. It's not going to happen. Cressy with a flick back. 3 kills for him. It's 5 on the board for Ultimate.
And 2 very important kills, especially even the second one, because he saw the pop flash come in from the rotator from LDLC, but still Cressy, he has the perfect angle, just pre-aims at this position, and even though he was flashed, he still gets the kill and secures the B side. And LDLC, same goes for them. They're doing a full eco in the second round. Not forcing, but at least they're trying something different. So it's always nice to see a stack in those rounds. Because if you only have USPs, I mean, you need to take a risk. Your only chance should be, or your only goal should be, to take as many weapons as possible. Maybe even save an AK. And therefore, a stack is always a great idea. And they decided to stack on the A side. But it doesn't look like someone will come towards them. Or at least, I mean, one guy could be waiting just around the corner, but it's only Schlex with a USP.
Right, that's all he needs. Executes 2 headshots. Oof. And a 3rd. Oh dear, XMS does deal with him. Bombs down on B's site and then is hunting for these frags. They want to pad those stats for alternate attacks. XMS 5 points of health, and Mansu gets himself 2 kills on the back, 10. Doubles up his earnings. $1,200 on the bank for him. There you go, 6 on the board for the T side. Looking relatively confident into this one. LDLC with that eco in the last round, however, have the M4s and AUGs coming up now. So let's see if they can try and turn the tide right here. Alternate have always had a very, very good start so far in this T side. been relatively similar to how LDLC have found these things. Yeah, explosive player to try to get those opening frags, but now aggression will come through from LDLC to try and deal with it. XMS deals with Man2 to start things off with a crossfire. Devon Duvek also at the very edge spot. Stefan can't quite spray him down, and Stefan will win out the fight for it. 4v4 now. Blashes will try and get in that mid control, but for alternate attacks, they have this as their first bet.
And look at the huge gamble for LDLC coming into this round. There was no one on the A side. They just now rotated with 2 people because they had a very heavy mid-aggression. Now even notice Mata secured Sunroom, so for alternate it's gonna be a tough call. Either just maybe try to split the B side, maybe say, hey, let's just go through Wens, because if they want to go to the B side, they still need to clear Sunroom. And alternate, they should also know that they should expect at least 3 people towards the A side. Since they know Mata, he completely clears the B side. Steph sees the one head, gets dinged, but the timing is perfect. Slacks finds a kill onto the side. Cressy finds the kill onto Fork, and it's all left on Mata and Logan. It doesn't seem... Are they going for it? Not quite sure yet.
Oh, the risk. Are setting themselves up with the SMG, but no, Logan's going to rotate away with the M4, so... Leave this one guy here, try to get an exit frag, try to get a rifle out of it. I mean, they have got 3 players, and they are pretty heavily tagged up, so LD also think they've run onto this. So just get that one exit kill again, $600 in the bank for the man. AK picked up potentially, maybe even AWP potentially for Slacks, but getting those shots come through. Actually, can he go for the wallbang? No, he's ready for them to move up. Spray on one, and they both go down. Nicely played. AEG recovered, and again, that is perfectly how you play the exits out here. The AK should get it instead, so... Gonna get the AWP, that's fine. 7 on the wall for alternate attacks. LDLC, however, playing that one the best way they possibly could.
Yeah, I mean, really perfectly played. Getting out the AK from turrets, also doing a lot of damage economically, because we can see alternate there already down onto 1k. Manto not even having 1k, only 150 bucks. Flex, the only person, the one who survived was AWP. Able to save some money, and they're trying to push through the smoke on the B side. Oh, there's a nice boost coming in. It doesn't seem like he can see over the smoke. At least it doesn't seem like it from our perspective.
Yeah, a little bit too tall, unfortunately, for that one. He wasn't quite high enough. He couldn't quite see over it, but a good attempt, good try. Logan got that opening frag. That would have been a great pickup again for LDLC, because they haven't got a whole lot to work with. Alternate attacks once again want to favour the A bomb site. Gone here more times than anything else so far in this half. It's a minute to go. Man2. Stefan backed up with the AWP of Slacks. Good flash in from Devo. And actually, Tonya takes a frag back, but not expecting the man out towards the spooky area. Matt End will deal with him. 2 frags found against the alternate attack side, and they keep them back here towards May with XMS that legal at long range. This could still work out, but Cressy has other ideas. Quick shot to shut him down. It deals an XMS all the same, so Logan back on the B bomb site will be all that remains. So you have to save, of course. 8 now for alternate attacks. Within 3 of LDLC's lead. They have really grinded this back right up. LDLC have struggled on the CT side in the same way that alternate attacks did.
Yeah, that's quite true. And it will be interesting to see if LDLC maybe they are better, able to adapt to the playstyle of alternate on their T side. I think it's only been 1 or 2 equip rounds, so let's wait a little bit longer. Maybe we will once more see double op setup, which on both teams, I mean, they seem, as soon as they don't have a right answer to the playstyle of a team, they always fall back to the double op setup. Same goes for alternate with Schlex and Man2 and LDLC. Their secondary opper seems to change depending on who has maybe the right feel for it, which map they're playing. Because we have seen Mata play the secondary op, in some rounds even Logan. Let's see if this will be the case. They could even go with a double op setup into this round. Mata has enough money, same goes for Tuanu. But it doesn't seem like it. Although, let's wait. 1 AWP. There is the second one. And there we go. Logan and Tuanu. And now alternate need to be careful. They need to use the utility wisely to not fall into the hands of those AWP players. Smoke and Molotov coming in. Oh, and he's pushing through smoke, but Schlex, he's somewhat ready for it. Oh, and just a millisecond too late. Logan, he was so ready for a peek of Schlex.
Found the frags for it, of course. 5-on-3 scenario. Tiny obviously getting one pick out towards that mid position, finding the frag on the boost player, so maintaining nice mid control. The bomb hasn't committed just yet, but still something to do here on the alternate attack side with LDLC finding small gaps in the line. They're punishing every single peak. Don't even think Dude knew that he was being watched from that boost position. So 2 versus 5 left for alternate. AK and AWP left to try and plant a bomb, try and pull off some sort of miracle in this round. If they went to B site, that might be the best chance for them, but also A site to get those 3 frags, turn it back to 2 versus 2. They play towards mid, obviously they don't have any of this information. Cressy moving up, gonna be ready for the sandbags peak, which no one will be there for. Martin just in case, will not catch anybody again. Ultimate slowing this pace down, not going to give up the ghost. In fact, returning back to T-Spawn, would they save at this juncture? That would be interesting if they decide to do that. Yep. Back to T-Spawn, they're saving. That's not a lot of money now flowing for the alternate attack side. With no loss bonus, basically. That's going to kind of cripple the economy line.
That's gonna be... Could we take a quick look at the money from the start of alternate? I mean, it should be fine for one more round. Yeah, now those players being on 5k, but still. If alternate, if they lose this round, they will be economically broke. And then it's a chance for LDLC to maybe even take the second map. After just surprising us on Inferno. And we saw, I mean, those opposite up worked perfectly. 1 frag on the B side, 1 AWP frag, I think, onto middle or even onto the A side. So alternate, they should be now expecting the double opposite to once more maybe come in. There's a smoke, small toss flying in. Schlex not seeing anyone cross. Oh, they're going for the boost. Oh, but I think they spotted him. Oh, and dude, he was so ready for this peak. And now they know there's only one guy on the B side, and Matar, he needs to shine. This could be his moment. He has the right angle, but only gets one. That's not enough to get back into this round. I think LDLC, they will go for a save, and we can see...
Yes, they are.
Yeah, instantly.
Nice plays from Matten and Logan, realizing that could have been a fantastic way to open things up, but no. Leaving the AWP back to try and defend it. You got 1 frag in the end, but the peak from Cressy was also just as good right there. I mean, that's really what kind of won them the round. Just that anticipation that he will be at the back of the bomb site and ready to face just at the right time to get that trade so easily, so quickly as well. And yeah, LDLC realizing this is virtually impossible of a retake. I mean, they probably could go for it and try to get something out of it, but against 4 players on B side, probably just better to save your weapons because the economy still isn't lining up for them in their own right. Obviously, they know they're going to be loss bonus reset by alternate attacks as well, so they can control their own money line on the T side, but LDLC will still be in money hell. Having one more buyback on Matt End and Logan. Yeah, 2 M4s coming through. With utility for everybody. But a very crucial round next here to win.
Oh, Antoine once more. I mean, nice opening kill onto Schlex and even able to maybe get a second one. Now Cressy needs to use utility wisely. They will do like also pushed into main. I mean, LDLC, they're once more playing aggressive, very nice detail. Meant to getting the AWP. But then once more, I mean, Tuanu, he's so quick in this round.
The opposition right there had a good read, but couldn't quite line up the shot. The 5-on-3 scenario, LDLC. Major advantage in this round. 60 seconds still left to go. Alternate will play over to the main area and over in Squeaky. Stefan with the bomb on his back, dude, ready and waiting to smoke down. Molotov to move forward in. As here come the T side. Utility going down, smokes in. A boost up from XMS from Patrick Heads. They cross out, and Cressy's going to go down. Ready for Dude as well towards Squeaky Door. Maps back over to a different defensive position. Now LDLC will throw him for a bit of a loop. Dude tagged up, leaving Stefan alone. 1v5 with the AK. Outflanked, outpositioned, outnumbered by LDLC. And they will hard reset alternate attacks all the same. 13-9. Still within 4 of the lead, but alternate attacks have a buyback here, and they're starting to run out of funds.
Yeah, let's see how this round will go for alternate. They need this round badly. Otherwise, it doesn't look too good. Otherwise, it would be a 14-9. It would mean alternate once more are down to eco, or even a force buy if they don't want to play for overtime. But Nu having a nice little gap. I'm not quite sure if the terrorists will realize that there is a gap just waiting around the corner in main. There's a nice pop flash coming in. Squeaky opens up, but it's, yeah, it's once more, I mean, just a wall of AKs and LWPs.
Trades will still come through out for the T side. Toinu, one AWP shot, second AWP shot's gonna land. That's a beauty, and Maten comes in with a single wide face to finish off the job. Alternate attacks and a nice start, but the trades were flowing so well for LDLC. 14-9, 2 away from winning the series.
And this was such an important round. I mean, Toinu, he's doing just an amazing job in the last few rounds. He has the most impact, getting those opening kills onto the B side. Now somehow getting the opening kills onto the A side, or just defending on the A side with some beautiful flicks. Logan, flash not really working out. Once more gets Cressy. And alternate. They are playing for overtime. Only the Eagles. So their goal would be maybe to get some lucky headshots, keep the economy low, because they have a long road ahead of them.
In this eco, map point for LDLC. Dude will get 1 kill, but that's as far as he goes. XMS with a final. An alternate attack, 6 rounds to make up to overtime. Else LDLC will be taking a 2-0 in this series as one last buy up here with the AKs coming through. Dude, good go with glass cannon up? No. 5 rifles to work with against the double upset with LDLC, and they've been looking on fire for the remainder of the CT half. Clearly they were practicing this map. Clearly they did have some strats, and clearly they did have something they were going to pull together to try and gain control here against alternate attacks. I had my skepticisms, I had my worries, but very clearly it has worked up so well for the French side. They're facing Maten will be the first casualty from the alternate side, although Toinu caught off guard. Duvek back in for the 16 points of health. A 4 versus 3 start again for the alternate attack side as they move out to the B bomb site. It's Logan with the AWP and a hell of a task ahead of him. AWP aiming into the main area. One's already made his way to Checkers. Bent from under their control as they Molotov now 60 points of health. Duvek still gets a frag back to 3 versus 3. Traded back with the Molotov, taking out the AWP and the back lines. XMS left alone. Does catch 1, but no more than that. Good trade frag coming in from Cressy. That's a 10 honorable for ultimate attacks.
I still need 5 more rounds, and it a little bit feels like once more Inferno. Where it was LDLC taking the lead, and it felt like this could be a 16-11, maybe a 16-12 in somehow alternate. They come back strong, but will they be able this time to make it to overtime? Oh, the pop flash, it's perfectly Cressy now should be aware that they are just pushing through a smoke. What a flick from XMS. I mean, that's just a beauty from him.
Flashbang in, still be a beauty from Duvek. Players takes 1, not quite the second as Stefan though. Not all Toinu is all that remains back here at quad. Backup is on the way as the flashbangs come through. LDLC read this well against the alternate attack side. They're rotating in, the AWP still out here. Spray Manic from XMS is one out by Dude. The AWP drops out towards the quad position, leaving it all on Logan. One more fall in, headshot, actually AWP shot, excuse me, lands on the bomb planner, facing back in towards the footlift. He knows where Mantu is. And Mantu making his way back out. Logan going to try and find a different angle to work with here towards the short position. Watching, waiting, looking towards Catwalk, but the bomb will go down. He knows where Mantu is now. Here we go, a task and a hell off for this man. AWP moving up against the AK, damage certainly favors the alternate attacks as last man here. So LDLC play to win this one out. Mantu still waiting and waiting. Logan, no utility to use either. Spots him, still gets the shot, and there we go. LDLC will claim 16-10, a 2-0 series in this one. Close against the alternate side, however. Admittedly, it did come down to the wire on Cash, but like I was saying, it seems that they have practiced it. They did have something up their sleeves coming into this second map.
Yeah, I mean, on both maps, in the beginning it felt like quite a gamble from LDLC, but they're still a new team, and I mean, they showed that they prepared something on both maps. Because Inferno was probably the strongest map for Alter, they still somehow got it, and they could have won Inferno, let's say 16-11, if they felt like it on the part of LDLC. So, I mean, it's nice to see them once more just maybe grinding their back into the UML, finding the right way with the new lineup, because they have been struggling in the first matches, but at least now it looked somewhat solid, I would say.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, as you were saying, grinding their way back in the UML itself, they currently sit at around the 10th place marker.
Yeah.
So with these crucial points at this 2-0, they possibly stand to overtake Harvu and Trick to move back into that top 8. So Harvu, we're going to have some problems. We're going to have to try and recover that later on during the day. We will see them in action. But for now, let's talk about 3D Max and Sprout, because they're up next on stream. So what do we make of these two squads?
I mean, it's probably for me, it's the most interesting match of the day. If you think back how I think both teams have somewhat of a new lineup. So Sprout going back into full German lineup, 3D Max finally getting their 5th play. It seems like Devil seems to be the right fit, both on some kind of a little upside. If you just take a look at how they were performing recently, and let's just jump right into the veto, because we could see on which map we'll end up with both teams. Train being the first ban from 3D Max. I mean, they're just banning really quickly on both sides. Yeah, and there we go. Overpass from Sprout, nuke from 3D Max. They are not giving us too much time. Talk about the map veto.
I mean, in all fairness, they are pretty standard bans. You know, Train and Overpass, neither team plays that. Nuke is a massive takeaway from Sprout, because they tend to do relatively well on Nuke whenever they do play it. And obviously, it's not a great map for 3D Max, so getting rid of that one. Inferno, another good, terrible map for Sprout, so getting rid of that all the same. Mirage and Dust 2 is what's picked up. Mirage, interestingly enough, is actually a good map for Sprout as well. You know, one of their few least played maps in the pool, but still actually a good shout for them. So 3D Max, although they are on Dust 2, which is another great map for Sprout, another great map for both sides. Actually, this series, as you say, it is the highlight one. With these maps, this could look very, very interesting here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to how both teams will just perform. I think if 3D Max, if they have a great day individually, this could be a very close match. And just keep in mind, Sprout, if I'm correct, they didn't lose a single map with this new lineup, so it's gonna be a tough task for them. But before we see how 3D Max and Sprout will end up, we'll take a little break. But before we take a break, there's always one important thing I need to tell you about. It's our new giveaway, where you can win a nice ThinkPad from Lenovo with a Red Reserve branding. And all you need to do is very simple. First of all, you need to follow us on social media. You need to retweet this tweet. And then also just tell us which 5 players will be in your UML Dream Team. So for example, some players, some people, it's the Sprout lineup just straight ahead. Well, some other people are maybe a little bit more creative. It's Draken, Hunter, Poison, Sprout, Dennis. So yeah, I mean, you could also just take your time and maybe tell us a little bit in your tweet why you think those 5 players would be your dream team. And if you're the lucky winner in the end, you can win a nice laptop. And now we'll take a little break, then we'll be back with Sprout against 3D Max.
Sie haben eine Big Box bestellt.
Warte, wer war das?
Das war irgend so ein hässlicher Typ, Mann. Riesengroß war der auch.
Hässlicher Typ? Ich mag keine hässlichen Typen.
Ich auch nicht, ey.
Was ist denn das?
Ich glaube, das ist so eine Big Box bei runtime.gg. Vielleicht sollten wir das Unboxing-Video machen.
Nee.
Lieber nicht, ne?
We are back, and after we just saw a German team get somewhat, not demolished, but let's say it was a very interesting first match with the German team against the French team. And now, once more, it's gonna be a German team against the French team. This time, it's gonna be Sprout against 3D Max. And you have already seen Sprout play, the new Sprout, so what are your thoughts on the new Sprout lineup so far?
I'm enjoying what they're doing at the moment right now. Like as we were saying before the break, they haven't actually lost a map since this new sort of lineup sort of formed up. So seeing how they're going to come to fruition here against 3D Max is going to be a very interesting matchup because actually both of the maps favor they don't favor anybody. Excuse me, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There is no major favor coming out of this one. You know, Mirage is going to be close. I have a feeling, especially our second map is going to be very, very close. You know, Dust 2 is one that favors firepower, and I'd say that Sprout and 3D Max are about on the same level of firepower. So I think we're going to be in for a very interesting best of two here, man.
Yeah, and will it, because I remember the first match, one of the first matches we saw in the UML was Sprout against LDLC, and I think we saw Sprout win, I think 16-3 or 16-2. So, but back then it was the old Sprout with NATO and Percy, and also the old LDLC. So maybe it's not too comparable with now both teams having a new lineup. And yeah, I agree. I think both maps are probably just. I mean, both teams like to play Mirage. They both like to play Dust 2. Although I would say 3D Max, they struggled on Dust 2 against the new LDLC, so maybe I see Sprout a little bit ahead on Dust 2. But on Mirage, I would say, for me, it feels like it could be a 50-50 call. Who will win this?
Yeah, like it's like flip a coin. Which one you're going to come out with? That's really the way we break down this matchup. I'm just going to say buckle in because this is going to be a very, very fun one. I think, you know, any team could take this one. Especially this one as well, you know, like the second map, you could make an argument for a lean, but for this one, especially, it's like, this is going to be the fun one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. When we've seen 3D Max play Mirage so often, and also with the old lineup where they didn't have Devil, they still performed quite well. So with Devil, it even feels like his teammates are just performing way better. If you just take a look at David P, how he performed before the break and after the break, I mean, you just see this improvement from him, maybe feeling a little bit more well put together with the new lineup. So we'll just jump right into it and let's see how this will go. Sprout, one smoke, one kit on Spitty, the new IGL for the full German team. And 3D Max, they are going for 2 flashes, 1 Molotov, and it looks like somewhat of a fast B hit.
Not stacking their way inside, so it's been the flashbangs that go forward, Molotov to try and flush out positions that the CTs will be using, but both are going to hold up here towards the apartments, and they're going to spot everybody. Quick peek for 3 of the rotations before he tries to lock out 2 headshots, and Spinny gets one of his own right onto Billy, and he lands it! Bomb spin drop, David P next to face, and 3D Max are completely decimated in the apartments.
Jeez, I mean, how did he get the first one and then also the second one? You saw it, 3D Max, they tried to play it so smartly, but the first guy just jumping around the corner, that Murbit at least only gets 1 frag, and he still ends up with 2. I have no idea how he made the second kill. I mean, that's just impressive.
Wow, okay, that's a speedy start from Sprout. Well done on that CT side again to hold down a defensive of that kind of a chord, you know. Pistol round obviously to their favor. We're having a quick technical pause though already from the 3D Max side. It's going to be resolved relatively quickly. No bomb plant coming through for them, so the question is, do they decide to force buy or do they decide to go for the full eco? Well, David's already buying into Kevlar Deagle upgrade, so it looks like it will end up being a force buy for 3D Max in this round.
This was probably just a quick timeout because the first guy who jumped out of the apartments needed to find his head first. After it got removed from Murbit. I mean, once more, what an insane shot. And it's interesting to see that the 3D Max, they are, I mean, as you mentioned with the force in the second round, because now you just think, hey, let's eco once, then we have all the rifles, all the AKs we need against the MP9 but somehow they find the first one, and Dennis a little bit too eager to get those, maybe hoping to get those eco kills.
A lot of damage to Hadji to start, but in the end, it is a frag for 3D Max. And David P now has an SMG to work with. And Tees will try and wrap back over to the A bomb site rather than committing all the way towards B. I mean, they might be mostly they're completely decimated by the setup that Sprout had to work with. This time it's more of a CZ situation with the UMP on Spiddy's side of things, and David P just working against the Molotovs. Will force him back, and maybe it's going to hear those footsteps. Information gathered, but the main side forces pushing into the A bomb site. A little bit of utility that they can work with. I imagine this will just be going quickly in, and there you go. The execution's out, Smokes down, and Farvan actually nades out Hadji. Farvan out to the back lines. Ooh, Jinx is going to can land a nice one. Trying right back, and Searson's dealt with. Sprout, however, they have Spinny over here to the sandwich area. He brings down the one player left alive for the T side, but can't get in much further than that. The bomb will go down inside the smoke. Maybe it reads it. Doesn't go full committing to it, so the bomb down. Flashbang's over. He knows where this man is now behind the triple stack. The CZ, all that remains for Sprout. Waiting, getting onto the bomb site. Here's the reload. Does not see the shadow. Does not see Burian. Facing around 27 points of health. And in the end, it's the UMP that wins it out. 3D Max with a fantastic force buy. Equalize on the board.
And I just criticized the force buy, but they still somehow make it. And it's really, I think, that Sprout, they didn't expect 3D Max to force at all. Because you always think it's gonna be a full eco on a T side. If you don't plant the bomb, you don't have any money. And as I mentioned before, I mean, you normally have the AKs in the third round. You're just facing MP9s, but they take the risk. And they also take the reward by winning this round. And now it's Sprout onto the force by Surson. Once more on the scout. Hamas on Dennis. MP... Not MP5, UMP on Murbit. Oh, but look at the ace stack from Sprout. Oh! And the smoke shots work perfectly, at least for the moment, for Faven. Okay.
Searson coming up with a second shot. Hadji will deal with him. Jinx trying to aggress, spots the boost up. Can't quite take them down. It's a 4v3 favor to Sprout. Bomb finally planted on the part of Hadji. Jinx ready for face against Mirbit. Will take him down, but loses 50 points of health. And the Eagle up in play here for Spiddy will be dealt with by Hadji once again. And how Sprout are bringing it this close, I have no idea. But either way, they are losing control. Dennis down to 45, Farvan on 12, very edge of the smoke. One good spray from Jinx, a spray bullet landing will be enough to close out this frag. With back turn, the Deagle can take the frag as a result. MP5 gained, Hadji still waiting. But it looks like with what they've got, Sprout are just going to fall back here. Force buy, not quite working up to a round, but they do get some rifles out of it and took some damage on the 3D Max. So expensive round for the T side, and I think that's how most of these rounds are going to go down from here on out.
Yeah, and even then it's maybe trying to get an AK. Trying to get the upgrade. Not quite. I mean, just still decides to play it safe. Doesn't face anyone in the T spawn. And let's see, Sprout, they need to go for one more eco. They're dropping the pistols, or at least Faven is dropping his pistol, and keeping the UMP. And the goal for Sprout would be, once more, to maybe do some major damage to the economy of 3D Max, to keep their economy low. So when Sprout is able to afford a full buy, and if they win one round, they could maybe already break the economy. But it's gonna be a fast B hit. There's only Spiddy with his USP. At least gets one.
What?
And that's some approach of playing the USP. And even Dennis coming from behind, and Devil will face 3 people now and needs to make it work. He needs to get at least 2 kills from behind.
Oh, he's caught off by Farvan though, and the bomb dropped out there. Byron has to do some serious work with the MAC-10. Sprague's well on through, trying to catch a headshot of one of these CT players, but nothing is going to go well for him. 1 minute and 10 still left, and the CTs have full control. 2 versus 4. David trying to work in, spots one of them short position, but not ready for Dennis, who lines them both up. Out of the farmhouse, it's 2-2. Sprout not letting 3D Max get away with the lead.
And what an odd round to win, because they had no one on the B side. Spiddy gets his first. It felt like he just... I don't know if you remember, but if you played 1.6, but 1.6, some people used to bind attack 1 onto the mouse wheel. So if you scroll, you just shoot so quickly, and it felt like Spiddy was also the same. Just spraying with his USP, but in the meantime, it's somehow the 3A side. They get 1 kill onto Faven, and Dennis, he just plays around the smoke.
Forward. Brian could not see Dennis at the edge of the smoke. Route here. Stairs. Spot sprays, but the holds back from, remember, that's Dennis with a kill actually with the AK. Start for the CTs once again. 3D Max have a lot of map control, but you can see how far pushed up. Jinx is there ready for it. The pop flash. So good to set up Meerbit with a kill. And Devil and David, isolated positions. They might be able to find a bomb plant on B site if David's good enough, but he's going out towards mid position where Spiddy's ready for him. Spotted, Spray actually will catch that one CT in the back lines, and now they're going to come out towards here. Devil spotted and Spray. They now know exactly where David is. But are they ready for the A hit or the B? They're initially set up towards A. They're only going to full commit towards A. They think David's not going to rotate to B, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Pushed up to hear the footsteps. Meerbit's ready for the face. The AK, he takes the kill. It's 3 rounds. Sprout going to take back a lead.
Yeah, and let's now see for DMX. They are on an eco after losing those 2 rounds, and I'm still a little bit shocked how for DMX lost the nearly full eco to Sprout in the first round. I think it really just broke them economically at this point. They're down to only Glocks, 1 to P250 on Maka and 1 flash onto David P. They will try to explode onto the A side, it seems like. And a bomb plant would be the goal for the side of 3DMX.
He's going to go about as well as you expected here right now. Just getting mopped up by Marvin, Dennis and Searson. 2 quick kills coming in for Dennis and Searson. 4-2 on the board. Sprout against standard eco round against 3D Max. They're going to be up for a bio here. This is where things really need to get going.
Yeah, and it's, I think, still no AWP on Maka. And he's also one of those very strong AWP players, if he feels like it, if he has the right day. So seeing him just playing the Galil, it's a little bit heartbreaking. But there's an aggressive mid-control flash coming in. Spiddy only gets 1. That is able to find a second, but the trade kills come in, so there's a little advantage for 3DMX early into this round.
Nice trade potential for 3D Max, obviously getting control of that one. 2 kills apiece for each side. Now 3D Max going to put the bomb in the apartment, going to commit to this. Meerbit is the only man to defend it though. Got to get at least a frag. Haji and David spotted and sprayed. It's so awkward, but he gets it together in the end. The bomb's been dropped as once again Sprout decimate 3D Max in the apartments. Fantastic spray and Devil. Not much left for him to do in this one. He's got a 1 versus 3 clutch. Will make his way onto the A bomb side, but of course bombs over on B. Trying to find a flanking route, but I think Sprout have all their bases covered. They've got Searson watching the murder hole. They've got Farther and Meerbit watching out short in apartments. There's no way in for Devil. This round is over. It's going to be 5-2 on the board. Sprout side, and there you go. The final frag comes in.
And I can tell you right now, if it was Dash casting and he would have said the same thing, I bet you everything I have, this round would be the round for 3DMX. He's a master in jinxing. So if he says there's no way they will win this round, and I guarantee you, somehow he would have gotten the headshot and somehow gotten the 2k in the end and won the 1v3 clutch.
Well, I'm not Dash, so I don't live by his standards. I got my own way. And the CTs in this one, they're having things in their own way. They will get a bomb plot down for 3D Max. Obviously, the half by execute working well to get that much out with an AK to work with. The 2v4 scenario, 3D Max with a little bit of firepower, trying to see if they can play passive angles and try and catch off some of the CTs as they try and make their way into the defuse. Devil ready for a backstab on Mill. He might catch one player. Indeed, he does. Okay, 2 kills. Bit more to find, and Searson's going to take him down to all refs. In the hands of David, and Searson going to peek around, not ready for this angle here with a pistol and the OWP when I turn around. This could still be possible for David. He's stalled for enough time. They're not on the defuse. They're going to try and fake it out. Flashbang in. They do get the shot. They have to stick the whole thing right now. This is going to be very close, actually. There's so much time on this one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't be a loser. Buy a diffuser.
Yeah, especially with the money on Sprout. I mean, they could have all afforded at least 10 defuse kits each. And you can see Spiddy instantly the first thing he buys before he even buys the AUG is defuse. Yeah. He doesn't want to make the same mistake twice. And what a round to lose. I mean, 1v3, David's the only with a ZZ into city spawn. At least the third round. And once more, very heavy B aggression early into this round. David P lurking towards middle, even just avoiding the Molotov. Not quite sure if Meerbit is ready for a quick be execute, and David P finds this 1 kill. This could be rotation coming in, but it doesn't seem like it's still 1 player waiting on short, 1 on B, and now the B execute is coming.
Maybe it'll take 1 frag before being traded back to on Spitty here to hold down the defensive, and indeed he does. 3 versus 3, but the only automatic weapon in play with CT side, he still almost makes it work against Devil. As B-Rent takes out Farv and it leaves it all on CSM once again. 1v3 scenario. 3D Max. Bomb down on the B bomb site. CSM, no retake potential here. He's going to go fall back and save it. Trust if he can get next to frag in the apartments. As that'll be 4 on the board for 3D Max, all thanks to the blunder, Sprout, and a little bit of an awkward defensive coming through on this next round. Yeah, strong start for the CT side, but now it's looking like it's falling to pieces.
And it's especially, I mean, big mistake from the guy waiting in connector. To get killed by David P, not really ready for any aggression towards other pass. But once more, it could be David P who somehow avoided the Molotov. But I didn't expect him to push through. Surson, he takes the risk for 1 more kill and gets punished. And now, I mean, Dennis, he could drop an AWP, but still, I'm not quite sure if this was the right choice. To get the first kill, I mean, I'll give him that because they probably don't expect the AWP to just lurk around for some exit kills, but then to go for a second one is maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, and then tactical pauses to get called in from Sprout to try and figure out how they're going to go into this next round. Obviously, the money line's a little bit lopsided. Farven 3,600, and you're hitting highs of Dennis on nearly $9,000. CSM will get dropped an AWP, but you can see the FAMAS coming through from Farven. The M4s on AUGs there to back it all and define the rest of the buy for Sprout. Obviously, it's not ideal. It's not fantastic, but it's not the worst. Considering the 3D Max also have an SMG to work with, it's actually a better buy for Sprout. So,
yeah.
It's out to the instant apartments and ramp positions. Looking for the execution sets, it seems like they go straight into the A bomb site. The Molotovs and nades already in the try flush out positions as Haji starts to take first phase. They're going in quick to this one. 3D Max the execution. They move forward, Farven here towards dark, now the smoke down and try to keep himself suppressed. Haji now knows the demand towards the dark position, and they spray on through and they crossfire. Dennis and Farven with 2 quick frags. B-Rent will take one back to the 4. 3v3 excuse me, as Haji finds up Searson, and Farven's still waiting at a very exposed angle, but he's staying alive somehow. B-Rent's having accounted for this, and Haji finally goes ahead and takes him down, but loses a lot of HP through his trouble. So it's all up to the AUGs to try and defend it here from the Sprout side. Bomb yet to go down, but will start to cross. The AWPs on 2 players have to try and hold off the afterplant for 3D Max.
And then probably at this point could expect someone lurking. But it's Maka, he just holds the perfect angle. It's all left to Murbit. And they could know where Murbit is. Although he's normally on the B side, so they could expect a flank. And if Murbit hits the right timing, they could find him 1 by 1. But look at 3D Max, they're taking so much time just waiting and waiting for Murbit to peek. 1 is holding connector, 1 CT, 1 from behind, and they're just waiting. They know that Murbit, or they're hoping that Murbit will make a move, but he also plays it safe. Now here's the bomb getting planted. Doesn't even peek yet. It's only a fake plant, and now he peeks, and he hits the right timing. 1v2, and this could be his chance.
100 HP and B-Rent against the AWP is small cross lock. They have to land 1 good shot, and that's going to be it, and that'll be it. There you go. B-Rent there with the frag, there with his triple. There with 5 on the wall for 3D Max at the end of that one.
I mean, very well played from both teams. Do not give him a chance to come back into this game. Of course, Murbit playing it very smartly, by waiting and waiting and waiting, and not even peeking after the initial bomb plant. And that's Sprout, somehow down to eco, only pistols, and 3D Max, I don't know, do they have an appointment after this match? Just rushing and rushing and rushing, I mean, they're not wasting any time to get those rounds. And 1 more head crushed, and all left onto Murbit.
And that's going to be a 6th round for 3D Max. They take the lead back away from Sprout. Of course, it was an eco round here, so I'm not expecting too much out to Sprout's side. Alright. Maybe hearing footsteps all around him, trying to avoid them the best way he possibly can, but there it is, the backstab coming through the PT-50. Straight to the dome. And as expected, the French side will take the lead. Another tactical pause called for Sprout. Now, very clearly, they are missing a few features of this CT side. Right now, it's a 6-5 scoreline when they were up by quite the number earlier on. They're going to have to try and fix things, and they're taking all these pauses so that they can do so. Buy strategy will not be one of those conversations, though. They have plenty of money and no max loss bonus in the next round, so they're sitting pretty on the economy.
It's also, I mean, Sprout are one of those teams who normally, when they take a tactical pause, they always find the right answer, which is something I wasn't expecting from them too early, because it's still Spitty is a very young IGL, doesn't have too much experience, but it seems like the role fits him, I mean, perfectly. Because if you just take a look at the other matches where it felt like Sprout was taking the charge, then somehow fell back, lost 3 or 4 rounds in a row. They took a timeout and somehow just came back stronger. Maybe this will be the case once more with the lob setup onto Faven, onto Surson. It's a very interesting boost. Not quite sure what's the advantage of this boost. Dennis playing around the smoke, and look at David.
Oh, nice. What a play from Dennis to find the angle, and Farven coming up with a secondary kill for the CT side, shutting down one towards the ramp position. The 1v1 peaks going awry for 3D Max. Another kill coming in with an AWP shot to Devil at the Palace position. The double AWP setup working so well. Not a single unscoped weapon for Sprout right here, and it's absolutely fine for them. 2 versus 5. They have dismantled 3D Max, and signs of potential of the team that we expect to see from this one, obviously. Expecting a bit more out of it, but let's see if Spitty can just close out a frag of his own right now. This corner, the AK spray is missed and whiffed. Bomb on the complete CT control. No chance there for Hadji to get back into the round.
And it's really just Sprout taking their time with the timeout, finding the right solution. Double off setup works perfectly. Because although it's only 1 frag on Surson and Faven, we saw that it was the second frag was so important. Because they lost 1 player in middle, then it's a little bit quicker on a trigger. But then also they tried to once more contact the A side. As soon as David P falls, there's this explosion coming onto the B side, onto the A side. Then it was just Faven getting the entry kill. And 3D Max, they knew like they need to change up something. They can't play an explosive place. There's Speedy a little bit careless, I would say. I mean, it was just, yeah, playing around, fooling around, not expecting anyone to be there in the middle.
Bit of a little bunny hop as he died as well, just like skip away, back into the mid position. Easy. Yeah, relatively confident round from the CT side. The AWPs, of course, back in play. 2 AKs recovered by Sprout as well, looking for the 1-tap headshots against 3D Max. Obviously, that's what expected at this point. Out to the mid position, 3D Max will go. I haven't seen much major mid control coming in from the T side. And usually mid is one of those portions of the map, similar to like Banana on Inferno, as we were talking about earlier. You want mid control and Mirage because it gives you that much to stand on, that much leg room for this map control. We'll put 3 players out here, including the bomb. Meanwhile, an interesting fight here towards the apartments. Mirbit and Hadji. Mirbit's moving closer. Who's going to spot who first? Has smoke not ready to clear just yet. They are like inches away from each other right now. Sign Hadji's sprayed down by Mirbit. Searson coming through on David P as well. Takes out the secondary kill. Traded back by Jinx at the very least. A 2-for-1 at the edge of the smoke. And Dennis Molotov'd out. The AWP's going to hear that. Tries to fire. Fights and blocks it against him. So low HP. 6 points. He's staying alive. If he gets a kill right now, that'll be absolutely brilliant right now from the CT side. But it's not going to happen. B-Went takes down Dennis and Spitty. Trades it back to 2 versus 2. But the bomb site is under T-side control. The plant will go down.
And Devil with a great after plant position. I don't think Speed will expect if he goes through city spawn. But they're just taking a quick look from behind and they're just trying to spot the next one. They're not going through city spawn, which could be important. Speedy still has diffuse, not too much utility, so no smoke. They could expect someone to be in apartments, and Jinx gets a perfect position. Takes round, gets the first one. And now Murbit, he could think about even saving the AK.
Going on the AWP instead. Just getting out of dodge there, so there you go. 3D Max maintain control of the lead just as Sprout starting to catch up. Not quite a confident round to start here. I mean, it started off relatively well with the kill to the apartments and of course the secondary AWP pick in the mid position. But in the end, 3D Max just read how Sprout were going to play that and came close to a couple of different kills that really turned the tide of the whole round. And Sprout also left that A bomb site pretty undefended just to focus on that mid control. So I think 3D Max, they were able to find some pretty decent lines and gaps in the fence. And now they have a better buy as a result of it here in round 14.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be hard for Sprout. They're trying to make the most of it of this buy. They're trying to play aggressive. 1 pop flash coming in. That is not really overextending. 1 more flash. It's a smoke from David P. It's again David P making some noise and his teammate just trying to spot on the A side. Surgeon finding the first kill. There's still Faven. When it could be important, only gets 1. It's somehow down to a 3v3.
Searson or out towards the stairs is ready for whoever receives. Dennis will get caught off guard in the backstab by David P. Leaves a rifle to work with. The bomb's going to rotate all the way back to the B bomb site as well, so they have no idea. They still suspect it'll be an A hit. Maybe will finally realize the rotations could come through, so he gets out towards short, out towards underpass. Actually going to meet up one player here. And there it is. Maybe it actually wins out that fight. 2v2 now. Bomb still not spotted. They'll make his way on site. Will be able to take down CSGO meanwhile on A. Leaving Mirbit once again alone. A 1v3 this whole thing. Spots the first man and the bomb. Make his way back towards short because they know exactly where he is. And I think he hears those footsteps from Byron. AWP scoping, looking, spotting Mirbit, just holding presence, holding face. I don't know if you heard that ladder room, but I mean, just him being here is stalling for time against 3D Max. There's only 23 seconds left, and if they move in, if he catches this bomb on the cross, this could be a massive, massive crack with Devil spotted, sprayed. Devil takes him down. Devil wins out the fight for 3D Max. A triple kill for him in 8 rounds for the T side.
A very close round once more. I feel like it's always the same. So I'm a little bit surprised that Sprout doesn't have the right answer yet, because it's always David P making a little bit of noise towards maybe the A side, towards the middle, and then his teammate just trying to explode as soon as he has no nets left. And 3D Max, they are on a tight budget. They need to save some time, and time is money, so it's gonna be a B rush. And Dennis coming from behind. They have no sound cues, it seems like. Finding the second one.
Oh my word.
And that's a B rush tonight.
They've decimated 3D Max in the apartments once again, this time with a backstab. They're trying to recover as best as they can, but Haji will go down, leave Devil alone. 1 kill to his name, make it 2, on for the 4K, not happening against the AWP. Sprout, leaving it all down to Dennis, just to basically carry them straight to that backstab. And again, 3D Max had no idea what was going on, but it was way too late. 7 rounds for Sprout to recover this half, keep it as even as is possible. And there you go. A good T-side half from 3D Max, but this is exactly what I was expecting out here. A very, very close half, and the second half I'm expecting to be just the same.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, funny to see that I think Sprout has overall more frags combined than 3D Max, but still it's 3D Max leading with 8 to 7. Always a little bit odd to see. The pistol round, I mean, Sprout also going with just as for a straight B contact play. It seems like the B hit once more is the new meta on Mirage.
Gonna go quickly into it, not waiting out of time for a default. It's just straight in, straight out. Haji lets one cross. Allows Devil to take that frag. So I think there's no one in the back line waiting for the headshot. Dennis gets one, but not the second of Farming. It doesn't matter though, because Devil's still here. He's got 3 frags on for his 4K. Clinical with the headshots. 3D Max shut down Sprout in the same way the pistol.
And we'll see. Sprout, are they going out of a force buy? Because you see 3D Max gamble in a big way on their T half after the last pistol round. But Sprout, they're trying to play it safe. Only a pistol on Burbit. And in Faven. And 3 Glocks. I would have liked to see maybe one more pop flash. Because one flash could do me so much damage if you hit the right timing. Maka, he's just waiting. There's a run boost. Let's see if... Maka just falls back. I wanted to see a nice flick from him. Yeah, well. That didn't work out as expected, I think.
Nice try, at least. And Sprout. At least have mid control as well to work with the P250s, but no Kevlar, no utility to speak of. 3D Max, massive firepower advantage. So however this one goes, I expect it to just be decimation here from Sprout. Easy pickings from Mirad. Jinx also here, lining up 3. Nice easy frags, double digits on the board for 3D Max. Sprout, however, looking towards the buy more than anything else. That whole round was to try see if they can get anything done in terms of damage or a bomb plant. So AKs and a Krieg out here for round 18.
Now let's see what they can do with the utility. They don't have any Molotovs, because Molotovs is always a nice tool to have if you want to attack the A or B side, or if you want to get mid control. But they only have smokes and flashes to work with. It's gonna be still mid control. David P finds his first one out of that is Maka nearly gets his first in middle. But the nade comes in nearly perfectly, taking Fabian down to 68 HP. And it's already a man advantage for 3D Max. And Haji has so much map control on the B apartments. And he's even being left alone or just swapping players? I think it's now David P with his AWP back onto the B side. It's a nice bait setup. David P going aggressive and also just Haji being close by. And they even want to clear out the B apartments. I think there should be one player waiting. If I'm correct. What an odd angle from Murbit. Okay.
I think he's trying to play that odd angle to bait in 3D Max. They're around this corner and look down. They think that they're completely open. And they're not sure. I'm not sure if they'll check the stairs area, but because they'd be so far pushed up, they're expected to be around that corner instead of against the wall. So yeah, it does leave a little bit of cover. It doesn't leave any cover at all. But it also is an off angle that tries to find someone for 3D Max. Luckily for them, it's not going to come to fruition if they don't push all the way through the apartments. There's big information, however, that no one is playing out towards the B-bomb site as of yet here for Sprout. 30 seconds for them as they've got 2 players in the connector area, 2 more out to ramp. They're going to make their way inside A, it seems. And they're running out of time to do this. 20 seconds on the clock. 3 Max. Passive defensive setup, but it might just be enough. And they're going to finally put those smokes down. Sprout need to get onto the bomb site immediately. If this bomb plant denies, it's going to be very, very dire straits for them, but it will go down on CSGO's part. 4v5 retake. Well, make it 4v3 instead. Haji. Jinx getting frags back to keep control for the T side. Spinning gets a trade in the same. They're both held out towards the jungle area. Bomb plant open for the T side. For Birant, but he can't get the shot that he wants, so has to back off instead. Wait at the murder hole because he knows he has to move through this position. He's at an advantage. Bomb continues to tick, tapping once from Haji. Now Spinny knows that he's here. It's David finds Farvan. It all rests in Spinny's hands. Expects him to be behind danger box, but as soon as they see those tracer rounds, they peek a little bit narrow and they get the final frag. It's going to be 11 on the board for 3D Max, starting to seriously pull away from the German squad.
But it's still impressive how Sprout somehow found their way on the A side, nearly undetected, not losing one player. But then I think maybe Spinny should have been the one to scout if they're defusing the bomb, and then Murbit could have stepped in, but Murbit takes a peek, so does Spitty, and I think Spitty wasn't even quite sure that the bomb was planted to his left, because he just started shooting through a box. It didn't make too much sense, so maybe also some miscommunication coming in. Sprout, in a very interesting buy pistols, a lot of utilities, some Kevlar, so maybe once more we'll see some explosive play. David P, he is back to his prime weapon. The XM, and there will be some players coming maybe his way.
Sprout into the apartments, immediately going to set up for an execution. They've exit 1014, doing some damage, but not doing a lot right here. The B rush already shut down CSM, will get 1 kill in trade, a 4 versus 4, but not much more done than that as the nades continue to rain down against that T side. CSM out. 4v3, only 1 extra weapon picked up.
And Dennis, he found his way on the A side, but we already see Jinx. He's expecting someone to lurk around. It's nice to see it for DMX. They always have the right game plan. They're playing very passive towards the A side. Well, that's just blocking off middle, and Jinx, he just needs to take care of Dennis, but the timing from Dennis could be so crucial. Did Maka see him? No, it didn't see him. It's just nice positioning from Dennis. Shroud still could get close, but then Maka, he's just too quick with the AWP. And Jinx, he also expected to push for a smoke. It's a nice try, but try denied. And very well played from 3D Max. And Sprout, they are somewhat struggling to get their feet back into this game.
Love that spray transfer from Jinx right there. It was just beautiful. Absolutely fantastic from him, and of course, the 3D Max, that's going to be 12-7 on the board. So we're going to keep going up here, looking for that map, possibly that match point right there. 4 rounds to go before they take it all. The AKs, of course, the Krieg, the AWP, of course, for Searson. Sprout in with another buy, but they need to try and make something work out here. They have struggled so far on the T side. 4 rounds have gone by, they haven't won a single one of them. All been the Frenchies so far. Something needs to change right here for the Sprout side. They play around a very passive default. No mid-control again. And it's quite curious how Sprout have not opted for a lot of mid-control so far throughout this half. Been very, very... I mean, for the whole match, it's been very little mid-control. Considering how crucial mid is to a map like Mirage, that is a very surprising factor.
That's quite true, but we can see Sprout, they They're trying to just hit the side. I mean, they could have the perfect read because there's only one guy on the B side and no one nearby, so this could even be a B split. 3 people now taking mid control very late into this round. But also, once more, I mean, the time is running low. There's a smoke top connector, so this looks like a B split. The bomb needs to make his way to the B side. Rotation coming now in, but maybe it's too late. And Maka through the smoke?
Okay then. Fair enough. There's 2 players now down. Hadji traded back, but Jinx still here with the AK-47 here on the B bomb site. All forward to Dennis, but the bomb's been dropped out towards short. He's got to go recover that. He gives plenty of time for the CTs to move around. Single deagle shot. Maka destroying everybody he can on the Sprout side. Unlucky 13 for 3D Max. They're really starting to pull away from the Germans.
And just to make sure, Maka still had the AWP in his pocket, so just pulling out the deagle for some style points to make things interesting. And it's Sprout, it felt like it was the perfect read. Only one guy on the B side. They even found instantly the kill onto the one guy who was guarding the B side, but Maka somehow, I mean, the first kill for a smoke, and the next one, an explosive hit coming in, but not working out too well. I mean, they find one frag. He's in a lot of trouble, but once more Maka getting one more kill, but at least a bomb plant for Sprout.
And Maka not going to find anything out here against the bomb partners. They can't deny that one, but damage being done to Farben. Me a bit caught off by the AWP, and Farben is all that remains. Headshot down on the first man, but that is as far as he goes. And 3D Max, another great retake, another great defensive that holds true for the most part. 40-7. And Sprout really are starting to lose control of this one. It wouldn't surprise me if they took another tactical pause here because, well, they kind of need to at this point. And there it is.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they found the right answer. I mean, the mid-round call seems somewhat on because they're always getting on the side where you would think, just if you take a look at how the cities are positioned, what the economies or what utility the T's have, you would think, well, this looks like the perfect call. They're going to the B side, only one guy to B, and still they lose a round with, I think, 3 cities remaining. So it feels like also a little bit of individual just performances is missing, because Sprout, they also have, I would say, some players, for example, Dennis, who's most of the time top fragging, somehow always getting above 20, 25 frags. It's not, I mean, I always compare him to some kind of Cold Zero if you just take a look at how he gets his frags. Because it's not the most flashy frags, he's not always getting the 4K, but he's just getting most of the time somehow 2 kills. And like every time he gets 1 or 2 kills, he's so consistent. And just something is missing on the side of Sprout at the moment.
It's a very unfortunate way to concede their, what was it, 15 map win streak at this point? Like,
yeah.
Going so far, so long so far without losing a single map. And against 3D Max, this could be the break of it right here. Sprout, one last chance to come back into this map up, else 3D Max will be taking away the first in our best of 2. That's the mid play. Good shot from Jinx already to tag up and take down Spitty. Now Farben moves in with the Asimov. Maka will take me a bit out to the mid position, peeking in and shutting him down. It's another frag once again, untraded by the T side, and they're just getting picked apart. Peeks in from the CT side, going well, no trade. Dennis will try to find Jinx, and prematurely fires as he gives up his position. Damage being done, and Jinx will shut him out. Searson does get a good shot, turns back around for the second.
Ooh,
okay, Searson. Couldn't quite get that third one, and unfortunately caught out by the 4th player, but good shooting. Unfortunately shut down 3D Max. Now on map point. 8 rounds in a row for Sprout to go all the way to overtime.
And just, I mean, this round was a perfect example of how you saw some of those players individually struggling. Faven normally would always get this kill. The CD just moving into his crosshair. He has the AK, he has a way superior weapon, but still somehow misses. And Maka's Molotov somehow not really able to block off the smoke. Very odd to see. But nevertheless, Faven getting tagged down to 37 just very early into his round. David P playing around the smoke, trying to find opening kill. And if Faven is not careful, he could fall to the hands of David P. Oh, and look at David P. He has the right idea, and I mean, that's a big mistake. You can't play around the smoke. If you know it's always a one-way smoke, you need to wait out till the smoke fades, and then you can try to get control of connector.
Once again, 3D Max on opening. Frag as Farvin goes down. Sprout unable to answer back. Mirbit will try and find something in the apartments, but Speedy's going to go down in the interim. Does not see Haji. Does face to take his head off his shoulders, but not ready for Devil. In the reface, the retrade, David P will get traded back all the same, but on top of the they will find one of the AWP falls to the hands of the Deagle, which has been absolutely stellar for Mirbit so far. 16-7, 3D Max with a not confident map, I want to say, but a confident second half, because obviously, as you can see from that board, not a single round for Sprout in the T side. That's not best.
Yeah. I mean, we probably both expected more of a close 16-12, maybe even 16-11 first map, and maybe that's to could be more go towards the side of Sprout. But after this map, I'm not quite sure. I mean, just individually, it felt like Sprout was something missing, because once more, strategically, they seem to make the right calls, but always just, especially in T sets, just always not getting those kills. I mean, Fave not playing to his level. Same goes for Mirbit, same goes for Dennis. Just individually, also Maka and Jinx playing amazing on the first map.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, really, really good stuff from Maka and Jinx. I mean, Maka especially, just like, the shots he was landing, just ridiculous stuff for 3D Max. I am hoping that Sprout will be able to come back into their own. Of course, it didn't quite look like it was 100% in terms of performances, but obviously Dust 2 being a map that favors firepower more than anything else. Again, I said before the match that I think 3D Max and Sprout are about on the same level of firepower. Yeah. I'm hoping this one is going to be the closer map of the two.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so too. But before we take a quick look on the second map, we'll take a little break. And there's one thing I need to mention, that we have a nice giveaway running. So if you're interested in winning a very amazing Lenovo ThinkPad branded with a Red Reserve logo on the back, you can take part in our giveaway on social media, on Twitter. You just need to follow us to retweet this tweet and then reply with your opinion. And we're asking this time around, you need to tell us which 5 players will be in your UML Dream Team. I think we just saw 3D Max, maybe Maka, David P, and Jinx making the case for it. So yeah, it's been very easy. 3 steps. You can just answer in the comments. We have already many people commenting with very interesting lineups. So if you have also an opinion, and also if you want to win a nice lap tap, just go to Twitter and check out our social media. We'll now take a little break, and then we'll be back with the second map, Sprout against 3D Max. The second map is about to start very soon. Dust 2 will be our second map. After seeing Mirage, I'm not quite sure what to expect for Sprout.
Yeah, no. We hope this series. We expected this series to be a really big one. We expected it to be like a really close set of two maps. But unfortunately, Mirage didn't quite go that way. It was 16-7, and Sprout did not win a single round on their T side. Now, on Dust 2, it's a bit of a different story because Sprout are a bit more T-side based when it comes to their overall balance of rounds. I mean, you can kind of argue for a lot of teams that they are T-side based because that's what Dust 2 is all about. You know, it's all about using your firepower and using your aggression, which works better for that T side. So I'm hoping that Sprout have a bit more of a confident performance. They are starting on T side. 3D Max have a bit more of a balance. Again, when it comes down to these two lineups, I rate them about the same level of firepower. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup. I think if there's one map for Sprout to split the series on, it would be this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, I'm not too hopeful because we saw that at least individually somehow Sprout was lacking today. So if they're not able to step up individually, I mean, especially Faven, then is also Sursa not having too much impact. He was, or I think he still is one of the top-rated UML players. So, I mean, they're just missing too many players on the server to step up individually. If they somehow, maybe they took the break to do some squats, take a runtime shake, I don't know, but they need to somehow just wake up and just play way better individually if they want to have a chance at Dust 2. But because as you mentioned, Dust 2 more or less a very aim map heavy map.
Yeah, and really, when players are missing from the server, it doesn't really show a lot of hope for Sprout. So as you say, I hope they did take the break to sort of focus on exactly what they're doing wrong and try and see if they can fix up their main issues. Because you know, otherwise it would be a very simple 2-0. It would be 3D Max dominating them for their own 2-0 of their own right. And for Sprout, you know, that they haven't got a lot of breathing room more than anything else, because they are sitting on top of the table itself, but they're also tied with Red Reserve. Valiants aren't too far behind, so any loss in points that they can lose, that they can see to 3D Max right now is more space that they're making up the table. They're currently 26 points behind, so that's like a little over 10 points behind a Sprout. But you know, to get this 2-0, that suddenly mitigates itself to like 8 points behind Sprout. And then Sprout obviously have to also think about, well, what about Red Reserve and Valiants, who are like right on our tails right there. So, you know, every result for Sprout is a pretty important one with how hotly contested that top of the table is.
Yeah, and if you also think about the playoffs, so we will have a playoff with, I think, the top 8 will be played online, and then the top 4 of the playoffs will be played offline. So it's gonna be, I mean, they need to think about seeding. So of course they want the first place, so they could in the playoff just maybe face the 8th place. So they still need to work for it. It's not like they can lean back. Well, they have enough points. No, I mean, they still would like to be the first in the UML, and they could keep the first place if it's not for Maka just opening up the round. A beautiful one tap onto Faven.
A nice start. Didn't quite catch Spiddy, so the smoke is allowed to be used here for Xbox to gain some mid-control here for the Sprout side. The bomb on the back of CSGO is going to be the first man up as 3D Max have taken the opening frag, with Sprout going to flash their way in, re-smoke down the CT spawn. Try so they can cross in from mid to B. It's Jinx and Maka, the two players here to receive it. Jinx out towards Black Plat, gets down one more on the second frag. Can't quite find his third, but 4 HP left to fall back, and it's all going to be Maka ready to try to use his teammate to bait in, but he misses out every single shot, and they bracket in against him. One more coming in the backhand side means it'll be a 3 versus 3 scenario. Bomb plant will come through for Sprout. 3D Max up for the retake. Mirbit finally takes the man advantage back for the T side. David can't find anything to window, and Hadji can't find anything to B doors. There it'll peek in, just gets spotted, tapped up again by the Glocks. The P250 is going to keep them at bay, and Hadji just can't seem to land anything that he wants to against Spiddy. Time's ticking, and they ain't got a defuse kit on 3D Max either, so they'll just face in, miss every single bullet, not get any of the kills that they want to, and just have to fall away. It's the first round on the board for Sprout.
And David P, it looks like he wants to fall back, but then he's also going for some exit kills. And look at Sprout, they have the perfect read, just leaving B through door, and there's Haji waiting in the middle, but he's not peeking. Down to 11 HP, so only one bullet would be enough. I think he got spotted. But yeah, what a round. I mean, it was a perfect setup from 3D Max, getting early advantage Just 5 seconds into the round, and a nice setup onto the B side. And we saw Maka, I mean, whiffing his shots onto Plateau and then just getting boxed in from 2 different angles. And in the end, he just falls without getting any more kills. And it's once more. Max, they really like to force in the second round. No matter if it's Mirage, if it's Dust 2. 3 nades being from towards long, and now it could be a call from Sprout, because they know, okay, at least 2 or 3 people towards long. Faven gets tagged through the wall with the scout and needs to fall back. Oh, and Dennis, he wants to play around the smoke. And look at Haji. He's playing close by. Oh, and Dennis, he hears the smoke, but doesn't do too much damage.
That's smoking out a bit further to the right than Haji would have known there's a player right there. For the 5-7 at that kind of a range, that would have been deadly, but in the end, it's just shots fired and nothing more. No tags, no major frags coming through for the CT side. Appetite's been involved in pretty low amounts of HP, so those could be kills that come up a little bit later on down the road. With David P landing at least 2 of those at the mid position. The scout shots are leaving. The Devil now facing it, he gets down 1, but Spitty will deal with him alongside David, who's already gone down. The scout out of play. The 4v3 scenario favor to the T side. Going to bear down this B bomb site where again they've got Jinx and Maka. Jinx this time up close and personal here at the tunnels. First Deagle shot at Tierson or missing his tagged up, managed to tag him out to just low HP, but not much more than that. Again, it's all up to Maka. The thing is here back behind blue box. Facing in. Deagle does land, but at the same time Dennis takes him down, so bomb can get planted. It will be a second round on the ball for Sprout. How do you call out to the mid position? Can't do anything more than that.
He's trying to get a frag on Spitty, but now he also decides to let Spitty be Spitty. Go towards the B side. He nearly finds Murbit. I'm not quite sure, did he dink on Murbit? Or was Murbit maybe damaged beforehand? Because it looked like there was just 1 bullet coming out of the 5-7. And let's see, I mean, Remax, they went all in. They went for the force by the second round, which you don't see too often. Therefore, it's gonna be 1 more eco, 2 grenade spot. Maka getting tagged by Source in the middle. And this time, Sprout was able to just block off the force by. Spitty taking those 2 nades, saying thank you, and trading them out for 2 kills. And that's all left on David P. And he's also known. And he's running for his life, but Dennis is hunting him down 3-0. Let's see now, 3D Max. I mean, an AWP on Maka would be quite interesting. There we go.
And there's rifle rounds here. 3D Max obviously not having the best of starts, but they're up against Sprout. Some scouts in play. Searson trying to make him fight against that AWP of Maka, but the AWP shot going to miss everyone, as is the scout shots. 3D Max rotate back into standardized positions and get a bit of a long control more than anything else. The most advanced angle here for Haji, and he might be able to find a frag with it as well. Dennis is starting to move up towards blue box, so that might become a bit interesting. The rest of the T-side default just plays itself around the mid position. Bomb back up at T-spawn is picked up. And the AWP of Maka just gets ready for anyone who wants to round this corner for the T-side. But again, Dennis now making his way, moving up. House spotted at the shadow. Hanji does pre-fire it and take him down alongside the kill coming in towards mid position. Now flashbang over. Hanji ready for the face, but Spitty is better and quicker to the trigger. 1 kill back, 2 for 1 over AWP. Now the AWP is here, and Sprout are pretty suppressed.
And Maka, maybe it overextends.
Or not.
Yeah, or not. I mean, it's a nice shot from Surson, and also maybe Maka not hitting the right timing, and somehow this round could fall apart. There's a huge gap in the smoke, and they don't have. Okay, they do have a second shot, but still, there's a huge gap. There's just jumping around the corner. I think Surson got tagged from Devil. Only 1 nade is needed to end his life. And, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's a bulletproof glass on the car. There's also blocking off all nade damage.
David P for the backstab though, still trying to work off the back of this retake. His teammate has gone down the interim, leaving him with 30 HP in a dream, and I think he realizes as much as we do that this is virtually impossible. M4 will be saved. I mean, really, Sprout kind of broke that line with the jumping scout. I mean, that was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not sure who landed that, but that 1 shot was all they pretty much needed to end it. Because it wasn't even like it was a jumping scout regular shot, it was a jumping scout headshot from pit. Like, ouch.
Yeah.
Straight up ouch.
And you would think maybe Maka has advantage because you will see Surson just drop into into the pit, but nope. He just gets his head removed. And it's 3DMax. They're down to another eco. Pistol buy coming in. But we've seen them being very dangerous with those pistol buys. Also a little bit of utility. Maka once more on a scout. Surson is going for his long duels. And Haji... Okay, I'm not quite sure what Haji was planning on because the Popper is coming very beautifully. Faven not taking his time. So a free kill for him. In the meantime, Surson losing his life to the scout of Maka.
3DMax continuing to push forward here. AK second damage from nades, and actually the Deagle will get a secondary kill. It's 5 really untraded, but a CT side as they find all their heads that they want. Then it's caught off guard. The Deagles will turn around as Devil doubles down. Triples overall. Complete recovery from 3DMax as they get there first on the CT board. Wow, that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah. And it really felt like it all fell apart when Faven didn't hit his shots and tried to go for the spray. And it looked even a little like a panicked move from Sprout. Getting a long control, maybe hoping to just explode on the A side and just running into all those deagles. We played around those smokes. And it was 3DMax with only deagles and I think 2 smokes, and they made the most out of those 2 smokes. Just lurking over them, and Maka once more going very aggressive towards middle. He wants to be the one who gets the entry kill in Surson. He's somewhat ready, and what a nice bait. Maybe not intended, but it works out perfectly.
Missing some key shots on 3DMax's part, however. Costing him quite a lot of breathing room. 5-on-4 favor to Sprout right now as they smoke down short, trying to look for a way to work into the A bomb site if they wanted to go for that. Of course, it would take to be if they also wanted to. Oh, the nades. Perfectly landing. David caught with a Molotov in his hand. Jinx will trade back. Dennis try to keep things even relatively for 3DMax, but they still at man disadvantage, and damage has been done to the entire CT line. Devil facing, Spiddy deals with him. Mearbit takes Jinx, and Haji's left alone in the mid position. Spotting, spraying, trying to take Spiddy down, but Spiddy wins the fight again. It's 5-1 for Sprout. A nice reset against 3DMax, allowing no room to breathe.
It's a very odd reset because we can see Devil and David P. They have, I mean, more than enough money to buy. Devil could even go for an AWP, so maybe 3DMax not quite sure what to make out of it, because I mean, they were able to convert just a pistol buy and 2 smokes into round wins, so maybe with an AWP on Maka, an M4 on Devil, and also David P should be able to afford. He could even play a secondary up, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. Maybe just get a utility, get a rifle. I mean, it still could be your round. And it will be interesting to see, I mean, if 3DMax or how 3DMax will adapt. Because at this point, they're just trying to let Maka play as an entry. But as I say, David P, he wants to take the charge in his own hands. And he plays the AWP, but only a glass cannon. And let's see if he can make any out of it. Not too much utility now on the side of 3DMax. To be precise, only 2 flashes, or 3 flashes, and 1 grenade left. And Mearbit, I have no idea what Mearbit was thinking at this point.
Rush in, just got decimated. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was attempting to try. Dennis taking Devil out. Back to 4 versus 4. Literally, Sprout will try and find a recovery play, but they've still got 2 ops to deal with, and that's going to be the main concern. The pistols have already been proven to be very deadly alongside it here. Let's see if Jinx can find Farman with the Deagle, and he does. Of course he does, because the Deagles have been clinical today, especially on Dust 2. So 1 AK recovered now. The T's making their way further up to the A bomb site. This is still doable for 3DMax, but they are leaving long pretty open now. The smokes go forward. And Maka with a shot misses the flick. A little bit of attack damage on Dennis as he crosses. The bomb's going to get to go, and actually Maka's going to lock that one out. Haji here going to boost up. 5-7 will leave the... oh no, that's going to get caught off guard by hesitating. Dennis will take him down, but I think it's completely clear. Oh no, he's not going to go for this, is he? Trying for his second face. Spiddy will punish. No, sir. We are the Frenchmen. We own that shot. You are not allowed.
He somehow tried to maybe let Cookly enter his soul, but he got denied, and it's now all left on Jinx, David P. And this would be such an odd round to lose. They had all the advantage they needed, and David P, he had the right angle, finds the first, and now it's going to be a tough drop ahead of Spiddy, and he doesn't even expect Jinx. With a perfect movement, just removes his head, and this is 1 more round for 3DMax. But once more, a very close round, I would say. And I'm interested in if Sprout, I mean, they seem to have just a nade setup for those 2 smokes, but it's once more, the smoke's not really connecting into city spawn. They're using 2 smokes and there's still a huge gap on the right side for the second time.
Max were able to punish that as a result. You know, it was all down to that punishment that looks like what gave Sprout a back foot, essentially.
Yeah.
Sprout going back into this one. Both economies are tilted, though. 2 ops only out for 3D Max. They saved them from the last round. And look at Sprout going quickly into this one. Dennis!
What, Dennis?
The entire CT line. How far is he allowed to go? 2 kills! Guys! Okay, Maka recovers it, trying to get his second frag, but he misses out on that shot. And refacing back around towards the smokes, Nasal come through. It's absolute chaos coming out. As 3D Max try their best to hold on, but now Maka's getting more top out of position for points of health. He will get overwhelmed. Okay, Dennis opening things up, and Sprout look like they're going to steamroll the A-bomb site.
This felt like a fable where Dennis maybe maybe grew up under CTs, and for 1 second he thought maybe I'm one of them. just walking with them, just falling back onto the A side with his teammates, realizing, well, I think I'm on the wrong side at this moment. And you even saw, I mean, he got the first frag, there's just the second one to his right, not realizing that Dennis just passed through him. It took him like 2 seconds to realize, I think someone crossed the line. It was just behind enemy lines. A very odd round.
Very, very odd round. Like, I do appreciate as well how Dennis got forward. He took the first player out, and then the second guy didn't even realize. He just like took a second to recoil. I was like, wait, hold on a minute. I think that whole moment just summarizes exactly how that round really went for 3D Max. Yeah, that's of course, as I was saying at the top of the round, economy crippling for 3D Max. No money to work with, and they got no loss bonus either. They won that last round off the fuse, so Sprout working in relatively well. Of course, they have the AKs and the AWP. Enough money to get another buy back in the next round. It will be a hard buy, but it will be a buy nonetheless. So Sprout currently looking good. 3D Max down to pistols, of course, to try and force buy. Try and get things together. But probably not for this round, I don't think.
I think Maka doesn't agree.
I'm just going to shut up now. I'm just going to shut up now. You do the rest of the round.
Yeah, I think Maka doesn't quite agree with your statement. I mean, it's 3D. If they win a round, it seems like it's always those odd pistol buys. But in this case, maybe you will be right still in the end, because Devil taking out the 22 HP. Haji trying his best to maybe find the right timing, but in the end still also gets denied. Faven, well, I don't know what Faven did in this round. Maybe, I have no idea, because he didn't die to the Molotov. So maybe he's afraid of those deagles. Maybe he just said, well, before I get this one of those lucky headshots, let me take care of it myself. Yeah, and
I honestly, you know, I really would love to see a replay, see how he died, because I can't even fathom a reason either, because like maybe he dropped off of CT or something. I don't know.
Probably because I think he didn't die to a grenade, not to a Molotov, so it's probably just some fall damage.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know where Faven was. If he was in the A side? Because I can't remember. Because then
probably one for the demo reviews, I think, later on down the line. But 7 rounds on the board for Sprout for now. 3D Max only get the Krieg out. So 3D Max, as I was saying, not a lot of money they can work with. The force buy obviously not going well, so the Krieg is all they will have to work with in this next round. The Deagles and USPs other than that for the CT side. And Sprout. AWP on Searson. Try and take a face in for that CT side and try to take down someone from the CT side. Devil's the man out to a long has position, so of course they leave the best weapon to try and deal with it.
And I think
very, very passive control so far.
I think the interesting thing will be that I don't think they will expect Devil, but Devil he instantly just gives away his position because it looked like Surson took instant control of long, just held the left angle, and all his teammates like, hey, maybe you could come also around A long, let's take A long control. I think no one crossed. This could have been a round of Devil, the only one, as you mentioned, with the great weapon on the city side, now gets instantly just, yeah, his head removed, and it's all down to pistols once more.
Was open A bomb site, no rotations in come from 3D Max, so they can't recover this even if they had the weapons to do so. So bomb plant will go down. This will be 8 on the board for Sprout. 3D Max. The best they can probably do is try to take a rep out towards Longhouse and pick up that weapon, but already Sprout are in position. Try and cut off any sort of opportunities. I think they may have actually thrown it away. So yeah, no chance on this one, unfortunately, for the 3D Max side. Again, this will be an 8th. Giving things up for the Germans. You know, much better performance on T side than compared to how it went on Mirage.
Yeah.
But for 3D Max, that T side is also what they want to focus on. So they have to just try and get some good rounds out here. You know, A7 is still not impossible at this stage. It's just going to be very, very difficult.
I agree. I mean, 3D Max, they could still have a very solid T-half themselves, but I would say if they're able to get 5 rounds, everything is possible, but with only 2 or 3 rounds, it gets way too tricky, because then you only, if you lose a pistol round, you're nearly already down to 14 to, let's say 14 to 3, 14 to 2, and it's just, I mean, it takes you so long to come back. You are not allowed to make any mistakes, and if you're facing a Murbit, a Dennis, a Surson, a Faven, I mean, they only need like 1 highlight round, and it's already a draw. So with 5 rounds, I think 3D Max should be somewhat comfortable on, because this still seems like a T-sided map if you have a very heavy, I mean, it's just a team with very good aimers, and as we both mentioned, I think Sprout and 3D Max, they both have a lot of firepower.
And now they look towards the tactical pause for 3D Max. Obviously going to think about their current standing in this matchup, because it's not good. Again, 6 rounds down, no chance to recover on CT side. A bit of a broken buy as well. I mean, they have the M4s out, but limited utility sets already for a couple players. Devil yet to invest, but we'll see. What does he want to get out to work with? What do 3D Max want to try and bring to the table here in this next round 11? M4 for Devil with 1 smoke. Kevlar, no helmet is standard, so yeah, this is going to be not the worst buy in the world, but most certainly not the best right now from the CTs. Molotov's in already. Quick plays coming through from the T's towards short. Look at how fast Speed's pushed up to. Looks for the man towards cross. Sprays his run through, gets that kill. Knows there's a man out towards ramp as well. Maka has backup. He's going to be the lone ranger that has to take the brunt of the defensive here with 1 more player out towards the long position. They're still trying to make their way in from short. Good tag on Speedy now. They're over. Low HP, and CS shuts him down. Hadji gets a frag meanwhile for the CT side, but he's still 2 for 1. And he's caught out by Farven in the open. The 2 versus 4 scenario. Make it 1, actually. Me a bit over on the B-bomb site, executing perfectly. 3D Max, tactical pause wasted as Sprout waste them.
Yeah, and Speedy just continues to demolish 3D Max. He's now up to 14 kills, only 3 deaths. And he's doing an amazing job as an IGL, sometimes as an entry, and also sometimes as just a guy to close out the round. So he's taking different roles on this too. And once more, it feels like it's the 10th eco for 3D Max. Yeah, once more, only down to pistols and some grenades. 3 grenades towards long. Now there could be a call from Sprout to just communicate, hey, I think they're taking a long control with some grenades. We could maybe go for some mid control instead, but Dennis, he once more goes in, not really by himself. One team is just coming also this way, but it's odd to see them taking a long control with only 2 people going in. Oh, and Faven, very important. He takes control of middle. There's a pop flash. That's a full A long control. They don't check David P. Oh, David P gets not even 1, and Hadji at least gets 2. And Surson, this frag was so important, because otherwise this round could have fallen just apart.
Yeah, not quite holding out for as long as they wanted to there for that CT side. They've unfortunately conceded, so Devil and Jinx, the last 2 players left alive. For 3D Max, Devil ready for receiving from short. long enough to control the Molotov will force him out of that corner. Face in, Deagle does get one player down, but couldn't land on the second man, so it's all on Jinx. Deagle focused on a small gap at the smoke cross, but Sprout don't want to commit to that just yet. I've got 2 more smokes that they can use, so they can probably re-smoke down the second set if they run out of time here. Again, probably will be good enough to keep Jinx at bay as they Molotov out Longhouse, continue to hold face. Ready, they're peeking blind, but fortunately they will get the headshot. They did get dangerous though. If they land those 1 deek shots, then Jinx possibly could have stolen the round for 3 max, but not to be. 10-2 on the board. Sprout pulling ahead of the Frenchman by quite a distance here.
Yeah, and I mean, you're missing so many players on 3D Max, so it's somehow you just changed everyone from this roster. If you compare it to how they played individually on the first map, now somehow no one's stepping up. Maybe delivering a nice 3K. Not Maka, not David P, not Haji. And I think the last map we saw Jinx, and it was Maka, just performing really well. Haji at least gets Dennis. David P, he could communicate that something is crossing towards A short, and we see rotation coming in. He's leaving middle, not open, he's just leaving middle for his teammate to defend. On Faven, he sees him. And there's an advantage off this angle, and it's a 3-1 for Faven.
Further forward now to gain control of the mid-position. Manic spray from Devil does not quite land, can't quite take down one of these players, so in all the wrong places. Good pop flash as well will leave Jinx. Players will line up, he whiffs the entire thing. Farven accounts for it, takes him down just in the nick of time. Now the CTs will be up for a retake. 4 versus 3. Bomb plant out, Farven ready and waiting to receive it. Will not expect anyone to come in from the window area. They have a boost going on towards the back lines in the plat area, so Haji, Molotov, trying to force them out. Actually, the spray comes through, but Farben still gets the frag. Mibit comes through. Searson will burn into a crisp, but doesn't matter. Farben with 4 kills. Shutting down everyone from 3D Max on the entries, on the after plant. It is a dominant T side so far from Sprout in these last 2 rounds. Probably not going to differ at all.
And I'm just waiting for the next round, because I'm really hoping to see at least 3 or 2 outer snipers, or maybe a nice scout from Jinx. Just removing the out of Spitty, and this should have been maybe a mid fake into B contact play, but still, it's a great call. Devil, he needs to make those Deagle headshots count, but there's some Molotovs coming in. He misses the first one, he gets flashed, and there's nothing he can do. Even switches to a knife, just waves the white flag, hoping it's Sprout maybe will not try to shoot him. And at this point, I mean, do you go for a retake? Do you just maybe go for exit kills? What's the call for 3D Max?
I'd say just go for exits. Like, you know, you have enough money. You got a Krieg as well. Actually, yeah, do you know what? Considering they're all max loss bonus, they got a relatively decent money line. I'd say just go for it. Just like, why not? See if you can get something out of this one. Try to see if you can throw yourselves at the wall. There you go. Actually, 1 kill will come through for Maka. Obviously, they've got to act quick about this because the defuse kit is not in play. Actually, another strategy that 3D Max could play is try and keep the T side in the bomb site itself, because if they do that, they're going to take some serious cash away from them. Get some frags away. Doesn't matter too much at this stage, because obviously there is some serious money to work with for Sprout, but you know, if you get in the habit of doing that later on down the road, then maybe if you are in a situation where you can keep them in the bomb site, then earlier, or like, you know, earlier during a half, at a later match, you can try and keep that economy limited, which might be something that 3D Max might want to do, because otherwise you end up in situations like this, where there are 5 snipers to work with. Fortunately, one of the 2 from the CT side will actually get the opening frag.
I was just waiting for those quad ops that have to come in middle with those, but still, it's always the same. I mean, you're able to buy 5 LWPs, also just auto sniper, and still you don't get too much damage into those both players crossing. And then Nate connects very well onto Faven, taking him down to 57 HP, and it just looks like one more round for 3D Max, especially if Werbit doesn't get his kill. And it's again a bait setup. 1 onto just onto the garbage, not can, but I don't know how to call this position. Is there a call out for the position the CT is playing? Or the blue container?
I think it's called Blue Boost.
Okay. Something learned today.
I think. Don't actually quote me
Okay,
on that.
okay,
I mean,
okay,
that's just the call that I use, so... Anyway, 12-2 on the board, Sprout. I've conceded one of their rifles, though. The triple orb setup coming in for 3D Max. Wonder how this will work well. I mean, Haji's already got one of them. He's picked up over to the A bomb site defense, watching short. Another one placed out to keep an eye on long. And the backstab coming through from the third op of David P. Now, they've pretty much cut off the rotations from Sprout. They have to commit to the A bomb site with the timer running low. So here they face, here they stand, and here Dennis falls in this case. Second frag found, AWP of Haji shuts down one, that's back in for the second, can't quite take CSN, but doesn't matter because the collateral tag will come through from Maka, and they'll be able to finish the job. The crossfire from the Orcs work, and finally a third round for 3D Max. Conceding 7 in a row before they finally find a 12-3 half. It's still very, very dominant from Sprout, though. They stand to take a map away from this series.
And it's just, I mean, a little bit sad for Sprout that they didn't play that way on Mirage, but I think they're one of those teams who, if they lose so dominantly on a map, they take their time, they analyze the demos, and maybe just get stronger for the next match. Because that too seems quite convincing at this point. 12-3 on the first half, and now they're on the CD side. Speedy with 2 flashes, 1 defuse kit, and we can see Dennis and David P just exchanging some bullets. It's gonna be once more control of a short Xbox smoke coming in. They can cross safely. They could go for an A execute, but they're just now taking their time, maybe falling back, just suggesting they could maybe go to the A side. But as soon as you know that David P is lurking somewhere, you can expect the rest of the team to be at the other side of the map.
Tier 50 is in play from 3D Max, trying to bring that firepower to fruition, but a little bit of a lurk over towards short has pulled a bit of rotation from Sprout. Not much. They have the B site with only one player directly on there. That's Farvin. Flashbang ready to try and face one out still there towards the A bomb site, and one more in here to try and blind off this one CT player of Sprout. What can he do from this? There's some great pistol play, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Headshot plenty for Farman. Catches off the first man, gets back behind cover. Dennis will peek him, but Farman lands the second headshot. In for his third against Haji. Oh, he lands it. It's perfect stuff from him. Clinical headshots on for his 4K. Not quite against Maka, who sneaks on the other side. And now it's just the Kevlarless P250s ready for backstabs to come through from the CT side, but they have turned it to a 2 versus 2. Bomb plant not coming through. It's down and out in the open. Mirbit now reads this, and now going to wait for Mac, who's going to hear those footsteps moving in, but he's going to let him happen as CSN comes in from the tunnels, takes down David, and now Mirbit has Maka pretty much suppressed back here. 10 seconds left as well. He's got to go for this bomb plant. Trying to catch Mirbit off. Mirbit's ready for the face. He takes the final kill. There you go. 13 on the board for Sprout, but Farvan absolutely clinical to get the initial defense.
And so, I mean, so nice to see him stay cool, not panic at this moment, because he's just realizing he's getting flanked from left and right and just hiding around the boxes, waiting for Pop Flash to come in, and takes his time for his very precise headshots. And 3D Max, I mean, of course they're forcing, they're down 13-3. They know if they take one more eco, it's going to be 14-3, and then it's just so much work they need to do. But it's good. I mean, we have seen 3D Max win rounds with even much less utility. So now they have 4 smokes, a lot of flashes, and once more those very dangerous French Eagles.
Well placed nade from Mirbit. Molotov's in, trying to defend the A bomb site, backed up by UMP of Spitty, who moves closer to try to take a headshot on Haji. Will catch spray, spot the second man as well as Dennis moves in. USP trying to look for the frag, and actually he does find it. In the end, the SMGs just mop up a very simple round against 3D Max, 14-3. Sprouts dominating positions and 2 rounds away from tanking this map and going 1-1 in this series against the T-side forces. A bit of a hard buy back into this one, actually. This could be the round that Sprout wins the whole map on here.
Yeah, I mean, if they win this, it's gonna be once more Fortman Surson. Oh, I mean, nice headshots being exchanged. One onto long, one onto middle, and Spitty takes control of long. He nearly gets the kill, and now he's able to finish him, but he gets tagged once more, and Devil, he pushes out, finds the right timing. Surson even connects his first gouge, but Devil once more with the deagle. So, I mean, sometimes those French Eagles just, they seem to do magical work.
Got a scout to play with. Let's see how deadly he could be with this weapon. Deagle in for Maka, obviously. Actually, Deagle on every single T-side player. So if they wanted to take those 1D players, then they possibly could make it happen against the M4 and the MP9. Wouldn't surprise me if they did, but 60 seconds still remain on the clock here for the hit of 3D Max. Sprout. Gonna leave Dennis here to control along with an SMG. Low HP player on Devil. He is those footsteps on the crossfires locked, and they're not ready for this. The father rotates back. I don't know if Dennis spotted the bomb, but either way, he's going to be there ready to receive it. Spray comes through. Does take the first man down. If he takes the second frag, that could be round over a straight bullet, not connecting though. 7 left in the chamber. Farben here to try and deny it against Devil. Again, doesn't need the accuracy, just needs one to land. Flashbangs in, catches the head and drops the bomb. He knows he's dropped it as well. Smokes to go down, buys himself a little bit of cover as now Maka moves in, plants the bomb right out in the open face against the M4, gets that spray. And Farben clutches it for Sprout. Map point for them here. 12 rounds for 3D Max on a comeback. It's just not going to happen.
And what a madman. I mean, he gets the first, then he just pushes through the smoke. Doesn't even care about short, doesn't even care about CD spawn, doesn't even care about anything. And you saw that they weren't expecting Faven to play so aggressive in this 1v2. They just also got caught off guard. And Faven, he's full flash, he still sprays, gets his first, gets his second, and maybe nearly the third. But then is ready to come in and instantly gets denied. So this round could still get interesting, but I think Haji down to 6 HP, Devil down to 51 HP, and so much utility on the side of Sprout. There we go. One nade perfectly, Devil last man standing, 14 HP. And there's the second nade, and it's all the utility damage you want from the side of Sprout. 16-3, and what a map from them. I mean, pure, utter dominance from Sprout.
Yeah, you can't even put it any other way. Dominance, 16-3. Did not concede many rounds at all. They didn't concede a single round in that second half. And, you know, one round here, one round there for 3D Max. I expected this one to be a close one, but very clearly I have misestimated the firepower of Sprout right there. Like, you know, credit to them. Obviously, they're looking like a much more dominant team. They can't quite keep up their map win streak, but they are looking like a very, very solid squad at the same time, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It's a little bit sad that they already lost against 3D Max on Mirage now with the nice thing. You mentioned 15 map winning streak they had? Did they win 15 maps in a row? Yeah,
it was 15 maps in a row with this new lineup, so...
Well, it was nice to see at least for 15 maps being played. So now talk maybe about the next match, Ego against Existence Galaxy. So you probably know a lot of Ego, I would suppose, but Existence Galaxy is also a very interesting team who I would say made somewhat of a splash recently.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing as well. You know, this is sort of like a hodgepodge of really, really big. No, not big. Sorry, I should say. Like these guys are young sort of players, or young sort of like upcoming Swedish talents who have sort of been in and about the scene. You know, there's some players, there's some guys on this squad who you look at and it's like, well, these guys have had their stints with some of the bigger Swedish teams. And honestly, I think the talent in this roster is still like untapped potential essentially. For Existence Galaxy. So I want to see where they go. They're a team that I've had my eye on for a little bit of time. Right now in the United Masters League, however, they're not quite doing amazing. They are about sixth in the table in the lower parts of things. They are still up for
Valiance with good
100% confident. They don't like to come for that, you know. Some getting picked by
then also
D supercharges the game.
favor of the CT's starting Swedes in that pool. So
one player who surprises the most next doesn't buy head armor, so you'd expect if he's the one
reason for that. I think that reason will
they can see him. Second still doesn't realize there's one.
Now the CTs look back. That very easily could have been a turn.
Themselves connect for control of short Molotov.
He's not quite landing.
And it's a nice try. I mean, the double smoke have come. Progress towards
the lurker over on the ramp position. That's 3-2 Existence are back.
And Ego once more for Existence Galaxy.
Existence on an angle Max Jules, both.
Stack on the B side, so
Fine, of course, cover going to be able to go.
the right time with
From Mega, I was got to try and pick up.
force, but or even a proper buy with the AK. It's different.
Still be a turnaround here on the CT side. Seconds. It's just not boats in and Pistons. They're going to 4 now within 1.
There he could have been someone.
It's Caper goes towards the jungle. He knows it is.
It's already on 5, right? For a pop flash to there's a pop shot.
Shots. Seeing from 1 down. On S. Yeah, Ego dominate.
I mean, go into
One tries to rotate coming
up round your up balls back, and now A will.
They have taken Ego for a
If this is Galaxy the pistol around, but we'll see. In the back step.
existence. Ego don't have a
Oh, he's keeping it, so
straight
yeah,
up.
those as well tag, but only down to
From North to take Furlong for a 24
and it's from bump little
T side Eco. And 2 kills for Plops.
maybe this round could get interesting.
Not to be in this case.
Lose this map to Search side.
It's all 250 Deagle. Down mid, 3 moves. Close, boost up, Deagle back stab, but it's not going to happen. How to say the AK
Scoreline, especially split, and they beat
for getting that set loss bonus when the investment in the last one
those weapons safe. So could be devastating. See the first
goes back through murder hole. Yes, this is the group awkward economy for the hard
and also what a nose attack. So he has to
They go right around this corner. They need to cross and spot the player out.
sound to come from underpass. Oh, Plopsky to close it out with a nice K.
And it's taking the lead away. Plopsky in 13 map point and around.
Gold lineup and Ego by Storm Barber already in turns. Gonna
That one more here in Caper.
also speechless. I mean, it looked like could have, which will all both.
Imagination.
Second map overpass.
That's by existence gallery this match. Sorry, I got the score mixed up.
They're in the top 8 already, but maybe they Ego will just work out in the end.
Take it down. Give shots against the 2 players.
I mentioned it. I mean,
Faith in these guys. Do some work here on.
or Mac 10s, this could be. It was interesting to see. I think
Either way,
Robbie just
actually going to leave Plopsky up and pushed up.
could maybe create some chaos.
And Spur attack down from the initial face. Fantastic team
Time after again. There's only Brush on the CD. Solely
for the moment. Rotation, but Furlan picks up that AK. Somehow done it. Don't ask how.
WP. It still didn't work out, and now look like it. There we go.
Was underpass. Was jumping again, but it will be something, I think.
To break the economy completely, or Exodus Galaxy. But the Molotov fell short. Therefore, whipping
But not incapable of the CT
just demanding the pop flash, pushing through.
might catch Norkov to take that much over falling back.
Thinking about maybe just waiting a little bit,
Boat and a lot of damage done to
saving up all the utility and reserves.
recover the second rifle as well. If someone on the T sides are committed to this, Barbar will slow. I imagine Ego will be
I mean, even if you like waiting, Sparrow will take.
again tagged up by Sparrow. The extra very little room to breathe either.
See, I mean,
Best into. They've got one M4, 2
one word, this little to smoke. Is even maybe
Zinken shuts him down. more than likely
Zing and Barra just
on the B-bombs. Absolute blowout coming in this week.
play the same level on
T-side presence spotted distance. Back as well in the bar.
default, not trying anything crazy. Put
Like, comply
as out my mouth, but it's
after that. Like,
probably a little bit tilted.
not great at pistol.
Some damage from all top, and I could have heard this. Let's see if Sparrow is able to.
Seeing the utility coming. Both completely different story from the first.
Should terrorist side. This
Looks for a second as well. Plopsky's got 4.
I completely agree. Ego, and in the end, he falls.
Blowout second half. Much of that very clear that you want.
But then think of the trade. It's all
There goes money. He goes
14k, so to get some map control.
what? Full kill. No. They go to Monster now. The remaining Ego side players.
Using Mirage after seeing them, just
We used to be seeing so often on their T-side retakes. Okay, but they'll
fought so well until now. Always open the kill for Nak. I mean, the idea was perfect to execute. They could face it till
today, but Ego loads of locked.
the doorbell again
The way the bomb was played, in fact, he had all the cover.
so well. It was 12 to. It's the AK saved on not much utility left on the side.
So AFK. Like, I'd be at that point. It still leaves it on Barbo.
Just missed.
I mean, you know, again, it's a massive.
In the next few days. Let's see what map will see